Mr. Beast, right? So we're gonna start talking Mr. Beast here, which
Okay.
always good.
Hmm.
Dude, you always want to talk about Mr. Beast.
Always a sane and well-reasoned conversation whenever his name comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Hold on. Oh, okay. Here. See, I just realized because I opened this in Microsoft. Hold on, everybody. I'm gonna briefly dip out 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
He did what now? Open what in Microsoft? What?
Like I just opened it in I opened this in Edge just because I was
Oh,
like, oh, it's actually nice. Like that way, like I can just have like a totally separate program running the stream.
oh,
But
but
the
when
thing
you
I
try to
didn't
share,
realize
you try to
when I try
share
to
the
share stuff,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like fuck you, you can't share. Well, I mean, I guess I could share the whole window, but yeah, hold on.
You're the one person that I don't have to worry about sharing the whole window. Oh, sorry. He's gonna dip out and come back in on his Chrome. He's the one person I don't have to worry about sharing the whole window and then like catching his browser
catching,
porn.
catching his tabs,
Yeah, I
seeing what's
never
in
have
those
to worry about
tabs.
Rory's tabs.
No,
No, he's
no.
like the most anti-Coomer person that I know, and I know like very religious people.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, you certainly won't catch any porn in my tabs either. So Rory and I have
Mm,
that in common.
No, okay, so let me see. Okay, here we go. So basically, like Mr. Beast, he bought this kid a house. Have we, by the way, have we shared this on?
I already shared it in the Discord. Both
Have you
links
shared it
that were
on
live.
Twitter? That were the important thing.
Mm.
oh, I
Okay,
did.
hold on.
Yeah, I shared it on Twitter.
Yeah, okay. So basically, he bought this kid a house, right?
Have you ever seen our channel before?
Mm.
So that's the key to this house that you just won.
Oh, I can barely hear.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. It's all right. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I just gave them this house. I gotta show them around. Here, come on inside to your new home. Congrats on the house. Howdy. I'm glad you guys have seen my videos, or this would be very weird. This is the master bedroom. We also might have threw some other presents in.
That's my laptop now.
You want to jump on it? It's your house. You can jump on the bed. There's another bedroom over here.
I did with my cousin. Can you believe it? It's shaking.
Try out the couch. Look at that.
Like, okay, like that's pretty much it. And everybody was like super mad about this because they're like, oh yeah, like I hope they enjoy paying taxes on that house. Now, there's a lot of issues with this video. First off, I mean, the one thing I will say is like, dude, you couldn't have bought them nicer furniture. Like they bought it like it's like literally like an Airbnb furniture. Like it's so, like did you see what that kid? Hold on, when that kid jumped on the bed, it just like he just like fell onto it, and it was just like literally like an IKEA.
you got to keep in mind this is a dude that is walking around this the house that he bought for strangers in like an Akatsuki costume or whatever the hell that
It's an Akatsuki.
whatever his clothes are.
It's an Akatsuki.
I don't watch Chinese cartoons, so I have no idea what this is. But yeah, like but here's the thing, right? Everybody gets mad at him for this. Everybody's like, oh, he's he's just doing this. Like they're gonna have to pay all this money in taxes. Here's the problem with that argument, right? What Mr. Beast has actually done by doing this is actually the best thing he possibly could have done for his family. Well, I'm gonna unplug. For whatever reason, my ring light's being really weird. Pretty much all my tech is being very weird today. I guess we're going dark mode tonight. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, I'm like
trying to
I'm
flashlight under
ringed
your
in
chin.
shadow. We're gonna talk about Assassin's Creed. So I should probably like put my hood up here. All right, we're going full assassin mode. Oh hell yes, dude. Hell yeah, talking assassins. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But like, okay, so this is the house, right? But here's the thing: this is you actually kind of want this. Like, you actually want a house that looks like a shitty Airbnb because that is like maximizing the value that this family is receiving, right? The problem that a lot of people understood, like,
What do you mean maximizing the value?
so when Mr. Beast gives his family the house, right? They are receiving the home as a gift, right? Which means they have to pay taxes on it, right? Either Mr. Beast or them have to pay taxes, one or the other. I don't really know how his attorney works it out or his accountant, but somebody has to pay taxes on it.
I'm just gonna assume. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm assuming that he covers the taxes, but it does get registered to the income tax of whoever the homeowner is.
It does, but you can set it up in such a way that Mr. Beast ends up like receiving the tax.
Yeah, covering the taxes. Yeah,
and given the fact that it does look as sparse as it does, I'm kind of assuming that he does cover the tax.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So he's maximizing the square footage, and
well, because like look at the here's the thing, look at the house, right?
Yeah, and then not paying for the furniture and stuff.
Well, but even then, so like right now, like he's showing them the house. Like let's just take a quick look, right? Very basic house, very basic. He's got the kind of marble, the foam marble tiling. That's he probably could have done a better job with the tiling. I'm gonna be completely.
No. I see what you mean though. Is that like when you get a builder? So when you're buying a new home, right? The builder will give you your different options. He'll say, okay, well, what kind of flooring would you like? What kind of cabinets would you like? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if you go for the most basic stuff, it's obviously going to be low cost.
Yes. And like, dude, they literally got like this. They literally.
You know, do you want like crown molding on the ceiling?
Dude, that's the cheapest. Yes. Like that crown molding.
These are all the cheapest options.
Cheapest thing you can get. Those. Okay, I will say, Mr. Beast, what the fuck are you thinking with this tiling, dude? Like the fucking. Like.
I mean, it's not him; it's the builder.
Well, yeah, but like you could have picked a better tiling. Whoever he was in charge of it could have picked a better. Like, let's be honest.
Oftentimes they'll say like, "This is what comes with the basic package."
I don't think. So I don't think he built the house. For him.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is, if he bought the house, if it was like say like in a new build, like in a neighborhood that they're doing new builds, right? He might have already purchased the house ahead of time, and then waited for the builds to be completed before moving them in.
You want to know my my theory on this? I think that he bought like this is like a disused Airbnb. I'm pretty sure. Like this absolutely is a disused Airbnb.
No, this happens in new neighborhoods. Like, they'll say, okay, well, when you can move in right now, where you can move in when the neighborhood is complete. So all like the driveways are paved, all the grass is laid, all that stuff, right? So in all likelihood, what had happened there was that he chose the most basic options, and then when the neighborhood was complete or the subdivision was complete, he moved them in. But all the basic options that they chose were just really shitty.
I'll be honest with you, like I don't even think because I don't think this is a new. I mean, maybe it is, but like my theory is that he bought this off of one because like right now, like there's a lot like the construction market's really slowed, so the odds are this is probably a refurb Airbnb. And the reason why I say that is because like literally I see everything in here and it is the cheapest, easiest to clean option, right? Like this floor. This is like 10 cents or like 20 cents.
The full marble, like it's not linoleum. I forget what it's called.
It's like I forget what it is. It's like a tiling. It's really cheap.
Yeah, it's like a plastic tiling, but it imitates either marble or hardwood.
It's actually not plastic. It's like a composite of really cheap stones, essentially.
Yeah.
It's so it is like almost like a ceramic kind of. But here's the thing.
Laminate, sorry.
Yeah, it's laminate. The floor is all laminate. Yeah. I didn't really see the kitchen. Can we ever see the kitchen?
No, I don't think we see the kitchen.
No, I don't think we see the kitchen. That's usually a good.
Okay.
That's usually a good. Like analyzing the kitchen is always the best thing to do because the kitchen usually gives away a lot of the secrets. Like, is it, like.
Okay, so let me get. So I'm trying to understand here. Why are they mad at him?
Well, they're mad at him. Well, first off, everybody's just mad at him all the time. Like we're at a stage now where everybody is just mad at everybody constantly about everything. They're mad at him because he's giving it to poor people, but he's not supporting. Like, I mean, there's like socialist people that are mad at him, which like, well, they're just mad at everyone.
Yes.
I mean, socialists are always mad at everything.
They're mad at everything. They lost and like, so like they're just mad because he's like, I don't know, building wells in Africa, but doesn't understand the intense geopolitical, rife geopolitical conflict.
Well, I mean, building wells in Africa is always it's always a shitty idea. I don't like when people do that whole thing where they go out to some remote village and then build a well and pat themselves on the back. I wouldn't yell at them for it, but it's usually not a good idea.
But they don't like water? Okay.
No. It's that what ends up happening is that a lot of these countries end up getting
The kids
dependent on like micro
kids fall down the well,
charities and like microfinancing to build wells rather than
micro-
just like putting out water infrastructure.
Loans.
Like I said, leftists getting mad about everything.
I didn't say it's. Oh my god, I'm not mad. It's just
the kid falls
Jesus,
down the
all
well. Lassie's not there because they don't.
Yeah,
they don't
exactly.
Have, they don't have dogs in Africa. They haven't invented them there yet. Like they only have like weird
Yeah.
dogs that aren't like border collies. So they don't know how to save.
You know, they have like they just have a hyena hybrids.
Yeah, they're all like hyenas from, and so they like you can't get like the Lion King to protect him because like Simba's too big, Pumbaa's too fat. The mole rats return to Israel to defend the homeland. But the thing is, the real thing that everybody's mad at him about is like, oh, well, he's going to have to pay taxes. And it's like, yes, they are going to have to pay taxes. Like, they're going to probably have to pay taxes on the house.
You know what's more expensive than paying taxes on a house?
I know, but
buying a house.
But the thing is, people don't understand because they got poisoned on what's that show? Extreme Home Makeover. And that because again, like they don't actually know what they're talking about. They just kind of like heard somebody say something on YouTube once 15 years ago. So but they just assume. So here's the issue. The problem with Extreme Home Makeover, can I just say? The problem with Extreme Home Makeover was that what they did is they made a bunch of very expensive additions to houses that did not add to the underlying value of the house, and in a lot of cases took away from the underlying value of the house, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the big issues was, like, I remember the worst episode, I need to look this up. It was this kid, this kid was like into lizards, right? Because initially, right, Extreme Home Makeover, how it worked was like, people would like submit stuff and be like, oh, like I'm, a hardworking Mexican family, and our son, he got like long COVID or whatever, like the equivalent of like long COVID was in like 2002. And like everything sucks now. Like we're poor and we need help. And then like Extreme Home Makeover would show up and they do like very basic additions to the house, which are usually nice. Stuff like that. Like I think they had like a girl who had like mobility issues, so they like put in like an elevator. So
yeah. They'll put in like elevators or like accessibility lifts.
And it was fine. It was whatever. But like as the show went on, like the budget increased, and so did and it was sort of like they tried to do this like kind of barn, like the whole community comes together to help this family out. So it's just like a bunch of like general contractors just fucking around in a house. It's basically like Habitat for Humanity, but they're making it into a show. Which I don't know if you've ever worked on a Habitat for Humanity house, but it's such a fucking disaster. Oh my God, dude. But like, again, because it's not an actual professional build team, it's a bunch of volunteers. The actual quality of the work is quite low. And if it's not low, it's like guys doing it on the weekend and they don't talk to each other. And they're also on like a super compressed time frame. And because the show's budget was like humongous, instead of like using that to hire better people, what they ended up doing is using that money to go and they would take that money and they would use it to just buy more expensive fixtures to put in these houses. So like there's this episode, I need to look this up. This kid was like he's like, oh yeah, I'm really into like reptiles. Like he's like a 6-year-old kid. Let me see, Extreme Home Makeover reptiles. Like this kid was just like, yeah, I'm really into like I really like reptiles. I really like like I'm really interested in that. Like the way that a kid is into stuff.
He's into dinosaurs. Yeah, he's a kid. He's into dinosaurs.
So they like literally turned this fucking kid's room into
like a reptile habitat. They put like monitor lizards in there.
No, like they just put in like 15 different like reptile displays in this kid's room.
Okay.
And it's like.
And he's like
he's like 6 years old.
They put a fucking Komodo. They put a Komodo dragon in there.
I really wish I had like a picture of this house because like this kid's room, like literally, dude, it was not like it wasn't even like a big reptile display. It was just they got like 15 different like Petco size, like large enclosed displays with like lights, and then just put it all around the room and like built it into the walls.
No. Okay.
So like you could have like 15 different lizards, which like fine if you're like a freak that has 15 different lizards.
If you're like, if you have the time and energy available to take care of reptiles.
But the thing is like this,
who by the way are like some of the most like time intensive animals to take care of as a pet owner.
It's like in like the families, like, you know, they're like a working class like Mexican family. They like, you know, they work at the like I don't know, like the sombrero.
You're about to say some
they
racist
work
shit.
with the sombrero.
Yeah, you know, like the dad just like hangs out in the Home Depot in the mornings and waits for someone to pick him up.
They're not that poor, but it's like the mom was like an RN or something. Like they're like the mom was like an RN, dad was like a general contractor. Well, he wasn't a general. I think he might have been a general contractor, which is like, dude, that's gonna be like having like a different set of like doctors treat you if you're a doctor. If you're like a general contractor that has like extreme home but yeah, like they literally filled this kid's house with reptiles, for example. And then they're like, isn't it great? Isn't everything super? Like you guys get all these fucking reptiles in your house. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, but like that's not good, right? Like you don't want to have like A, it's a bunch of work to keep up the reptiles. B, if you don't keep up the reptiles, like the room just looks like shit. You just have a bunch of like weird glass enclosures. And because they're built into the wall, like you can't remove them. I mean, I guess maybe you would have to pay money to have somebody come in.
You can, but you'd have to
rip
like
them out.
Exactly, because
and then you know, to add onto it, because that's a fixture to the home, it now adds to the value of the home.
Yeah.
So like a lot of these houses would get rezoned by the city or like reevaluated for the city, and then it was like, oh yeah, like your like property taxes just jumped by like $10,000 a year, and in addition, you've also received this in kind, like the value of the house has gone up. But the problem is, like, yes, you've invested more money in the house, but like in terms of actually realizing that, like you're not going to make that money back.
Well, you can't do anything about it because if you don't plan on selling the house,
even if you do, like the house is not. Like it's not sellable, right? Like for example, like if you took $50,000, or like let's say you took $200,000 and you completely redid the house, like hardwood floors, added in some like a nice new kitchen, with like modern like Kenmore appliances, redid the bathrooms.
Right, but you're not turning that $200,000 around upon the sale.
Well, no, I know, but like the point I'm trying to say here is that when you put the money in, right, you put that when you invest that into the house, that's something that like people are interested in. Like, oh, cool, like Kenmore appliances. I really like Kenmore appliances. Like Kenmore appliances are better than other things, so I'm willing to pay that money because that is something that even a secondary buyer can benefit from. But if you put in like $200,000 and put in like a fucking water slide in the backyard, it's like, oh wow, it's a water slide. Well, it's cool like if you're like 10 years old.
Yeah, it's a nice water slide. I'm gonna rip it out as soon as I
but it's expensive. It's like, and so like that's actually like a cost reduction, even though by the
it's like people who just don't want to buy pools.
And that's the point. So like the thing is, people don't understand that like that is the problem. The problem was that they were like investing money in the house. The problem was that they were investing money in such a way that added to the value of it took away from the value of the home, but it was still considered a fixture addition to the home.
Yes.
So yeah, like that's the reason. Like, and so people just, because they're brain dead, because like nobody knows anything, because everybody's just pretending to be a fucking expert on the internet. It's just like, oh yeah, no, like I know everything about tax law, and it's like, no, you don't. You don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
Oh god, I actually a friend of mine, or I mean, to the extent that a person on Twitter can be a friend, but is like going to law school in BC and had some like questions about tax law, and I realized I was like, oh shoot, these are questions that I used to answer for people, and I realized like a lot of people don't really have a good sense of how taxes work, and taxes are really just like inputs and outputs. So when they yell at Mr. Beast for like getting somebody a new home, say like, oh, you know, there's a huge tax burden that comes with it, and it's like, I mean, yeah, I guess so, but a house is much more expensive.
Well, also, here's the thing: you can turn around and sell that house, right? Like, the thing is,
you can turn around and sell the house. If the tax bill is too onerous, you can work out a payment plan with the government, and that payment plan is going to be end up being a lot less than the cost of a mortgage. Like, there's so many ways to get around that. And again, like he can also just cover the tax bill for them. Like, the government doesn't care who pays the tax bill as long as the tax bill is paid.
Yeah, and also like the government, if you like talk to the IRS, like this is not the first time that somebody has received a large cash gift. They are willing to like work your taxes out so that you're paying them over like a course of many years. Like there's a lot you can do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like it's less than paying a mortgage.
Well, yeah, I know, but like the point I'm trying to say is that like there's ways to like they're not just going to get slammed with like one large tax bill. Like so long as you like plan stuff ahead, like the IRS is fairly flexible about a lot of things, especially in those regards. That the problem with Extreme Home Makeover, and honestly, I'm taking the hood off because it's kind of hot. The problem with Extreme Home Makeover was that it like all it was doing was just making their house harder to sell and more expensive at the same time for like the benefit of what exactly? Like, okay, like your kid who's like into like mummies, like now he lives in like a fucking Egyptian burial vault that you've added in as like a sub. Like nobody wants that. Like nobody, you're gonna have to like fill that in with fucking cement. It's like we stole like fucking dinosaur bones from like the T. Boone Pickens Memorial, like Natural History Museum, buried them in your backyard. So that's like you've added in like $200,000 to $300,000 worth of like added fixture value to your fucking house. And so like that's why people are mad. But honestly, like people are just mad at Mr. Beast for whatever. People are just mad at everyone now. Like people have just internalized that just being angry about things is politics. You know, like I mean, now with this like Israel stuff, which I don't want to talk about, but like it's just like we're now trying to figure out like who are the white people in the Middle East, which is like such an enjoyable. It's like I really like the way that we've gone from like the early 2000s where everyone was like, you know, actually Israel Palestine, it's all about religion. It's all about Ishmael and
Ishmael and Isaac,
all this other stuff.
Yeah, there's like this long-standing religious war that's been going on since time immemorial.
They've all like they've all decided to read like the first one chapter of Settlers and like, well, actually, it's about internalized white supremacy, neo-colonialism, white adjacency. They've recontextualized the white adjacency from Central Europe into the Middle Eastern context. You got to understand that it's actually really, you know, it's heteronormative in many ways. It's heteronormative. It's white adjacent, anti-feminist, and it's just like, dude, like you've just
it's you know they're interrogating bodies in liminal spaces.
You've just reimagined.
Sorry, the idea of Soldier. Interrogating black and brown bodies in the middle spaces.
I'm sorry. It's just two different like off-white, olive-colored people like yelling at each other about who's white. Like, and it's like, but what about all the IDF people on TikTok? And it's like, they're IDF people who are speaking in English. Like, those are all usually white people because they're mostly like born like American-born Jews. Whereas the majority,
but like 70+% of Israeli people are Israeli
citizens,
Jews. Well, I mean, they're from the Middle East. Like they're from everywhere from like Iraq and Syria. They're from Iran, Jordan, etc.
I think the last Jew in Afghanistan, I think, made Aliyah, which is kind of funny. What's his name?
Wasn't it that the last Jews in Afghanistan were two guys that just fucking hated each other, and they would get into arguments so much that like they got put in prison?
Zebulon, that was his name, which is such a great name. Like that's like a real H.P. Lovecraft name right there. It was these two Jewish.
It's a biblical.
Well, but it's like a biblical name that H.P. Lovecraft would have used. In fact, I do believe there's actually a character in Shadow over Innsmouth who is like his name's Zebulon.
Zebulon.
Yeah. You don't get a lot of Zebulons in like modern parlance, right?
No. No, as our friend of the show, Daniel Monte had said. Yeah, they're names that are just like very strong. You know, it means like falcon or wolf or whatever.
Yeah, like and so, but it's just like two different people, like two different like Middle Eastern people being like, no, you're white, no, you're white, no, you're white, you're white. It's like, God, like shut the fuck up, like holy shit, like it's incredible how everybody has to like all we like people are just incapable of like taking like their brain out of like one specific way of looking at things and just like applying like a different Like just like not applying the same stupid rationale that they use in like a DEI class at like fucking Vassar University. They can't do that, and it's just so fucking exhausting. Which is why I haven't really paid attention to it anymore, because it's just like the takes are so fucking bad, like the stupidest possible takes of all time are coming out. And yeah, I will say, did you guys see the Cowboys?
Cowboys?
Oh, you guys didn't see this? Okay,
No.
hold on. We're definitely sharing this one. All right.
Oh, the Cowboys heading to Israel.
Dude,
yeah,
this is fucking awesome. All right, so here, you want to...
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude, like, all of them are, like, showing up at the airport in, like JFK. But here's the thing. The video is the best
I'm Ezekiel Strain, and I'm from Montana. Hey, y'all, I'm Luke Hutchler, and I'm from Huntsville, Arkansas.
Montana.
I'm Ezekiel Strain, and I'm from Montana. Hey, y'all, I'm Luke Hutchler, and I'm from Huntsville, Arkansas.
My name's Joseph, I'm from Montana. I'm here to serve Israel.
So cool.
We're just here to serve Israel any way we can during the hard time here and the struggle against Hamas just out in the West Bank, Judea and Samaria. Just serving people whatever way we can help.
What is this music?
Dude, this is awesome. Because here's the thing. Like, first off, I do like the way that they've got, like, this guy looks like Justin Trudeau's, like, hick, like, cousin. He looks like...
I was going to say nothing.
He's got the Henley on. One thing I do actually really like about this video, because, like, I don't know, everybody was just like, oh, yeah, like, it's a bunch of gay cowboys. It's like, okay, well, we've all heard that joke. But I just like how, like... Look how just lackadaisical they look. Like, dude, like...
What are they doing exactly?
It looks like they're screwing in... So I see, like, some 2x4... Like, some... It looks like metal sheeting. So are they, like, building a barn? Because I see...
I don't know what the hell that is that they're doing.
I see compressed... So, like, are they, like, doing
building? I don't know if... Because it's just not very clear. I don't know if those are, like, wood pieces, or if that's, like... if that's, like...
metal.
Metal?
I think it's metal, yeah. Because here's the thing. See
so what are they bolting it together for?
Tanks? I think, they're doing some welding with that. But, like, they're just, like, look at this. Like, the guy isn't even on his, like, taking a knee. He's just, like, fully bent over. Like, and what is he, like,
I don't know.
He's not applying very much pressure on whatever it is that's being driven right now.
Nothing. Like, nothing is being driven. Like, he's, like, literally just screwing something into the ground.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a masonry drill, and I don't know why he would be driving that to the ground right now.
Like
I don't know what they're doing.
2003, like Nissan.
Is that a Volkswagen? Yeah, it's like a Jetta.
Well, here it looks a little too tall to be a Jetta. Maybe it is a Jetta.
Okay.
Though. I don't know. Definitely not a good ranching car though. Let's be real. They got like the golf cart there, which is good. Okay. See, he's trying to like what are you doing? Like, why does he have like a circular saw?
No, it's an angle grinder. Like, first of all, okay, that's how you lose a foot, because he took the guard off of that grinder.
Well, he's got steel toes.
He's holding it with.
So I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's not going to protect his face or his leg or any other part of his body. Leg.
Yeah, if that fucker kicks back.
Well, here's the thing.
If that thing kicks back, that's a life-changing injury.
Here's the thing. He's not running it. Like, look, there's no...
Is it just like sitting there? Okay. All right.
It's just
there's no sparks coming up off it. But I'm saying, like, you would never take the guard off of an angle grinder to do what he's doing.
You also wouldn't,
especially holding it at that angle.
You also wouldn't do it without safety glasses too, which is the other.
No, and you also wouldn't be standing directly over it, because when it kicks back, it's going one of two places, like back into your leg or straight up towards your face.
Well, also, like, why are you just like running an angle grinder on like just a pile of metal?
I don't know what he's doing.
Like they literally have no
standing around doing weird shit.
Like that's the funniest part about this. Like, it's not even that like the cowboys are gay or whatever. It's like they just don't know what to do.
They're not doing anything functional right now.
Because, like, I don't know, like, maybe I don't know much about like the fucking Middle East or whatever. Like, they all worship the moon or whatever, but like like it's not exactly a place known for large cattle ranching. It's not an especially like it's not like large amounts of fertile grassland, I imagine. Like, I don't know why you would need a bunch of like ranchers out there. Like, what is the value add of like a bunch of like cattle ranchers?
Cowboys, cattle herders.
Yeah, like
I have no idea
maybe if they
because
grew goats.
yeah, there's not really a lot of cattle grazing happening out that way.
No, it's like a desert. Like unless maybe you're into like okay, goats. I guess you could do like goats, but like I don't think any of these guys are like goat herders. I don't think.
Yeah.
This guy might be my favorite guy. This is like this guy.
Why is his shirt so big,
dude? Okay, first off, because he's just super thin, but I think he's also like tall. Which, because it's an American-sized shirt, it just means that like you're either stuck with like a really baggy shirt, or like or it just like it's gonna like it's too short.
He looks like a tent pole underneath a collapsed canvas.
No, dude, like look at this guy. He looks like a prospector. Like he looks awesome. I love this guy. I don't know. Like I fully support.
Looks like a Deadwood extra.
There's gold up there, and then they're golden heights. Yeah. So like, these guys are okay.
Yeah, we're going out to help the Israelis in a hard time.
Like again, like
their hard times with those Hamas cocksuckers.
Like I don't even know what they're like. Again, I don't think that any of these guys like are bad people. Like I think they're just like their church was like.
No, they're just kind of like dumb yokels that
their church, their evangelical church was just like, hey, do you want to go help people out? Like, you know, Israel, they're having a really tough time right now dealing with Hamas, and they're asking for help wherever they can get it. Like, would you like to help raise a barn in like the West Bank? And they're like, okay, well, I don't really know anything about that conflict, but like, whatever, I'll just go do it. And so they just go over there, and then. They just hang out in what looks like a place made out of shipping containers. I think those are actually shipping containers in the background. That like, you can see like the corrugated sides on that. That's definitely a shipping container. And then like they're also like the West Bank. They're not even in Gaza. Which like it would be funny if they sent them into Gaza. Like I would actually that would be very funny if they did that, but.
Okay, so they're helping to raise more illegal settlements.
They're raising barns, dude. They're gonna build like a Deadwood set in the West Bank. So that's good.
Mm.
That's like the only thing that I've even slightly entertained about with Israel. Like everything else sucks. It's just like boring and annoying, or it's just depressing, and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Not much left to say there. I feel like at this point everyone's already drawn their lines and taken their sides on that conflict. So what is there left to talk about really? Because whatever the outcome is, we don't really have a whole lot of power over it. Aside from like people that want to like disrupt, the boats taking off from the ports or whatever. But I don't know if you saw this, but some people were trying to disrupt. I forget exactly where this was. I got to go relook it up. I just saw it this morning and kind of chuckled to myself. But there were people that were trying to disrupt a boat taking off from the port, and the event organizers basically just like stood there leading the marchers in a circle while so the stevedores didn't load the boats. Instead, the military just came and did it. So while the protesters were like standing there waving their placards like goofs, the boat just loaded up and left.
Well, like, yeah, because like, how are you going to stop a boat from leaving if you're not on a boat?
Yeah.
I see, like, that's the thing. Like, if we had like the big, beautiful boaters on our side, like that, they could have formed like a boat, like a prayer circle around it. But unfortunately, nobody on the left has enough money to have a boat. So
a little.
Oh, okay. It was in Tacoma, Washington.
Little armada.
Yeah. So it's like I don't want to like get too down on people, but like, yeah, there's unfortunately with that stuff, because a lot of it is unfortunately like military run ports. And for like national security purposes, there are weird laws about about striking and like activity in those like areas. So yeah, there's actually like there's not that much you can really do. Unfortunately, like you can start like, you can maybe block the boat, you can protest, you can hopefully like keep people from loading stuff on. But unfortunately, like if they want to get stuff onto the boat, like they're going to get it onto the boat. Whether or not they rely.
It's not so much the loading it onto the boat; it's like preventing the boat from leaving the harbor is really the important part.
Well, I mean, I think that the way that they were at least planning on doing that was like stop them from loading the boat, right? Because otherwise,
yeah. Well, I found it here. Reading this wild instant takedown of the Tacoma action yesterday that alleges organizers blocking the ship didn't tell participants that the army was loading the boat anyway, and their action was largely symbolic. Any comments saying that publicly posting this is dangerous, yada yada yada. Took safety precautions, making me realize the limits of whatever. Yeah, so yeah, the military. There you go. Tacoma port blockade yesterday was a beautiful show of solidarity, but a complete failure. Who even needs cops when the peace police will do their job for them for free?
What is that?
So yeah, they're just like marching in circles.
Well, yeah, I mean, what else? I mean, unless they're gonna like get into like a fight with like the military, like.
Hey, why not?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I spent a good part of this. It wasn't really arguing. I was just like a little bit surprised to see people saying this, which was that it's like, oh hey, the Gazans were able to just like overcome the IDF. I mean, they just like really took it to them, and look what's happening. They're putting them in a blender, and you think we can't fight a revolution here? I was like, guys, like,
how would you work on getting like a job first? No, I mean, seriously, like, how would you work on?
Do any of you know how to handle weapons of any kind?
It's
guns, anything? No.
Like, the thing is, it's one of these things where it's just like, guys, like, I don't want to sound rude, but like, this is such a LARP. It's like,
It is.
Well, here's the thing. I even had
we're gonna
people that were in the military. Yeah. No, I had people that were in the military talking to me about this, and I'm like, I get that. Like, there's somebody that's just saying that, well, the U.S. hasn't won a ground war since World War II or whatever. I'm like, okay, I understand the U.S. Retrenched in Korea, they lost Vietnam. I'm not talking about wars broadly. I mean, the United States military.
What are we talking about, dude? We fucking owned it.
Oh, fair enough. No, but the U.S. military has probably the strongest offensive fighting force when it comes to urban warfare. Like, every military hates urban warfare, mind you, right? But I would say, like, out of all countries, the U.S. is probably the best at it. Is that fair to say?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, I think certainly, like, it's the country with the most experience fighting in an urban area. Probably the army with the most experience of any army, like, period. Because like most countries.
I keep up with like military journals, and I see like the back and forth debates, and then up to like September of this year, I was seeing a lot of debates about whether there needs to be like a rethinking of how urban warfare is fought. But if you look at the actual stats as far as like being able to capture and hold territory, the United States is incredibly efficient at it. But if people were saying like the American military it's all smoke and mirrors, they talk a big game with their paper tigers.
Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah, do you guys really? I mean, first of all, do you really want to go up against the USMC? Do you want to go up against the Marines?
Well, it's all moot anyway, because none of these people have any kind of tactical training whatsoever. So what are they talking about?
Okay, but here's the thing. Even military people, let's say that you had...
leftist OSINT guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, we don't have...
This is why I don't spend a lot of time and why I get annoyed with people online and just end up like just not posting about stuff, because it's like, nobody knows what they're talking about. Everybody's just pretending. Like, it's all pretend. It's make believe.
Million, or okay, let's even lowball it, like a couple 100,000 well-trained soldiers. Do we have that to fight the U.S. military? No, we don't. We don't.
No. Oh, here's the thing. You could, let's say, a realistic scenario. I'm trying to operate in the real world.
Well, none of this is
real. Have like I'm saying in a real, like, as things are right now, as things stand right now, like, you do have various scattered militias around the United States, or people that like train together. Some of them have former military personnel, but here's the thing: they all fucking hate each other. Mm-hmm. They hate each other they hate each other, and they hate each other just barely less than they hate like blacks and Mexicans. Mm-hmm. So you're never going to have any sort of widespread solidarity among armed people in the U.S. because generally, like, A, they hate the blacks, and B, they don't work together very well. It's not going to happen, guys. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not going to. As opposed to like a Gazan, right? Like they have strength in numbers. Like there's a couple million people within like a strip of territory that is only about like 25 kilometers by 25 kilometers long by 8 kilometers wide. They have like ethnic and cultural solidarity. They have linguistic solidarity. They have a common enemy.
They hate gay people.
So well,
they're not gay.
That's
they're
the other thing. That's the other thing. Geography. The geography of the United States makes some kind of cohesive incursion against the U.S. military really difficult. Especially
no, the U.S. is the U.S. is too it's too culturally estranged from each other.
Yes, that's
what it
too.
is. You're not going to get people. Yeah. Yes, yeah, exactly. Listen, you're they them people's army. It's just not happening. I'm sorry. Yeah.
We just had to let women into the military. It all went downhill from there.
Brother. That's actually like my that is my like okay, so we know that I play misogynist on the internet, but my one actual belief is that women should not be in the military. They shouldn't. Sorry. For what? For what? Why are women in the military for? Because here's the thing: unless you're comfortable with female bloodshed, and I just from the last 3 weeks, I can tell that people really aren't. Unless you're comfortable with what happens to captured soldiers, unless you're comfortable, just like having a woman be like scraped up off the pavement after her Huey goes down, like I don't think people are really comfortable with what happens to women in warfare. No, they shouldn't be they shouldn't be there. What?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I just don't have opinions on it, honestly. Like, it's again, like, it's all large.
And really, what this and here's why I'm saying this, because it enables countries like Israel to post fucking like thirst trap soldiers and say, when you get mad at Israel, this is who you're getting mad at.
Yeah.
It's just again like,
and then
it's like here's the thing, like it
allows for what you despise most, Roy, Coomer Wars.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody's Coomer now. Like that's just like you could say like that's Israel. It's like no, but even like everybody's like those girls that were like ripping signs down and like all we wanted to talk about was like how hot they were, which is like okay guys, they're not that hot. Like it just everybody is just weird and like demented, and all we talk about is hotness. And like I just don't want to talk about it anymore, which is why I don't go on Twitter really, except to post a Song of Ice and Fire theories. I don't care. I don't know. Like is the U.S. going to have a violent revolution? I have no fucking clue. Nobody has a clue. Literally nobody has an idea. Maybe it'll happen tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know.
Can I just show you one thing though?
Sure.
I'm gonna show. Okay, this was really funny. All right, because or to me at least. Maybe not to you because you're annoyed by everything. But here we go. Gun waifu. Natalia Fadiva, I am guessing, who is like either with the IDF or is just like doing Hasbara for them. But when you're mean to Israel, this is who you're being mean to. All right. Now, the hidden tweet on this one, the first hidden tweet fucking got me. All right. This is who you're being mean to. First hidden tweet in there. Too fat. And that's why you shouldn't have women soldiers. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's, again, like, I just don't have anything to add to it. Like, it's day fucking 900 of this shit. I'm just so bored and tired and annoyed with it, and...
That's just you in general.
No, it's just, like, again, it's, like, there's no... Like, what's the, like, guys, like, there's no... What annoys me most about this is this sense that people have, like, I have to care about this. Like, I have to, like, and not care about, like, Gaza, not care about that. Like care about, like, the way that the shit that we're specifically posting on Twitter. And it's like, I just... I'm sorry. Like, if you want to go to a protest, go to a protest. If you don't, you don't. Like, you know, do whatever, have fun. But, like, don't... Like, just... Like I don't know. I don't have anything humorous to add to it at this point. Like I don't want to talk about like violent revolutions in America. I don't care. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Well, it's just not going to happen.
No, I'm not even going to say that. Maybe it happens tomorrow. I don't know. Like,
no, it's not going to. It won't happen.
I don't know. Like, here's the problem. Like, if you start to say, well, it won't happen, then people go, oh, well, it will happen. And then you're into a new argument. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I'm just going to go to work and do my job and succeed in my career. Right. You know, things that normal people do instead of just pretending that anything's going to change, which is better. Honestly, like and it's like, and here's the thing, I'm sick of talking about this. I just want to like,
it's not, here's the thing. It's not, I'm fine with talking about it. My whole thing is it then ends up getting chewed into the bolus of stupid culture wars online. That's the part that I hate. You know, and again, like individually, none of us really has any power to affect the outcome. No. So it's like either go make yourself useful or shut the fuck up.
Or how about we just talk about Assassin's Creed instead of talking?
Or we can talk about Assassin's Creed.
We can talk about Norm Finkelstein and Dune.
Oh, buddy. Hey, Rory.
I saw it.
No. This you did not see. Hey, listen, dude. Stop acting like you're over everything, all right? I have such sights to show you.
Is it him talking about gooning?
No.
I know.
It's him debating. It's him debating Ben Shapiro.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he actually just
agreeing to doing so. Apparently,
no, he actually just tweeted about this a little while ago. That not only does he was so bitchy the way he did it too. I fucking love this dude.
Yes.
All right. Because he said that. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find the tweet here. I really hate the way that Twitter's like UI on desktop is. They've just completely busted it. Yeah, they totally busted it. Anyway,
it's in the chat.
You're welcome. I've been repeatedly asked in recent weeks why I won't debate a person named Ben Shapiro. If he's produced a body of scholarship, I have not read it, and if it has a podcast, I have not watched it. I was once forwarded an interview he did with Andrew Nell on BBC, which, if nothing else, was quite entertaining. However, I'm open to debating anyone on the situation in Gaza. The ball is in Mr. Shapiro's court. I'm told that Michaela Fuller, i.e. Michaela Peterson, has expressed an interest in moderating such a debate.
Oh, so he didn't debate him yet?
He hasn't debated him yet, but he has expressed his interest in debating Ben Shapiro and it being moderated by Michaela Peterson.
It's not going to happen, probably. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I hope it does.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah,
I was going to say a man
it'll
could
just
dream.
It'll be just two very nasally people yelling at each other. Again, like maybe they can go join like DebateCon with like Destiny and like all those other guys.
Oh God.
I don't know. I just again like it's one of these things where it's just I just want to like I just want to like talk about entertaining, uplifting stuff, and there's nothing entertaining or uplifting here. And quite frankly, I'm just annoyed with everyone on the left at this point. So yeah, I don't know. Like with it when it comes to this stuff, like the problem I have is that like it's one of these things where it's like, how do I put this? I don't really know that much about this conflict, to be completely honest with you. Not to say that I don't know anything, but like I don't know enough that I can really specifically state it. I don't have like a body of scholarship. I'm not like Norm Finkelstein. I don't have years and years of paying attention to this issue and really like getting into the weeds. I'm not in Gaza. I'm not Palestinian. So like it's getting to the point where it's like I don't really have anything to add to this conversation anymore. Frankly, like right now, like I'm running dangerously close to just becoming an OSINT guy, which I don't want to do. I'm not that into like tanks and stuff, so you know, and I frankly I don't really know what is going on in terms of like losses. Nothing's really clear. It's just different sides releasing like propaganda footage, which is like impossible. One nice thing about the Ukraine war, I will say, is that like there were a whole fucking ton of people just like taking videos on their phones, which is kind of fun. Because then we actually got like a bunch of like weird footage that we could like compare. There's a bit of fun there, but with the Gaza stuff, there's no like there's only like a couple like really high quality videos of the actual conflict. So nothing to add to it. So yeah, I just have like again, like there's just nothing to really add to it about this conflict. Yeah, it's they're having like that they're releasing like a movie about October 7th, which I just
well they actually screened it in the Canadian Parliament today apparently, and the member of Parliament for Thornhill, Melissa Landsman, she actually used to be a communications officer for Doug Ford, like Premier Doug Ford, Bob Ford's brother. Yeah. Anyway, Melissa Landsman was upset that nobody showed up to the It's like, well, yeah, nobody wants to watch a fucking,
nobody wants to
nobody
wants to watch a professionally produced snuff film.
Yeah.
Like for what? Like, why would I want to go watch that?
I mean, like, that's pretty much just what my Twitter feed is now, unfortunately. It's just like rotten.com. Like, pictures of people are pictures of people dying. So it's like, I mean, God knows, I don't need to see any more of that.
No, remember Reddit banned r/people fucking dying, and that's just what Twitter is now?
It's worse than...
screening in Parliament held today. Not a single member from the government showed up to see the footage from October 7th, 2023. Not one Liberal member of Parliament. Maybe before making statements, they'll read this account. Like, alright. Also, like, why are they watching this behind closed doors?
Well, I mean, you don't want to, like... I mean, what would...
Oh god, Anthony Housefather. Which, by the way, he has the funniest name in Canadian Parliament. Anthony Housefather. I was not invited to the screening. I'm the president of the Canada...
Israel Friendship Group.
Yeah. We did have a similar type screening at our group meeting 2 weeks ago, so there was no deliberate attempt not to go to something I knew nothing about. Wish you would ask me first. Blar, 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 blar. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
And Nina, yeah, that's pretty much what here's the thing, like, any discourse can really only capture the zeitgeist for a solid, like, 2 to 3 weeks at most. I think 3 weeks was about the stretching point of everyone's attention span. Before people realize there's absolutely nothing that I can do about this.
Yeah.
Like me personally, myself, nada.
So yeah, it's like why continue to talk about it almost?
Mm-hmm. Assassin's Creed.
I'm not in the mood.
You're alright, man.
I don't want to talk about this. I told you from the start. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm trying to move on.
After an hour.
Alright.
Oh, so how are things going with you guys? It's just like the left is this, nothing's gonna happen, nothing's this, nothing that, and then I'm in a bad mood, and now it's like, who cares? If nobody, like, here's the thing, here's the reality, like, and I'll put it to you, like, this is what gets me very annoyed, is like with in general, is it's like, okay, well, if none of this matters, if there's going to be no violent revolution, then let's just stop talking about it. But no, we go back to it again and again, just to sit down and tell about how nothing's going to happen. Brilliant, wonderful, genius. How about we talk about something else? It's become this thing where it's like the opposite of being like just let's just not talk about it. Like, let's just not, like the cowboy was funny. I have the Cowboys. That's a funny thing. I don't want to talk about, like, scraping women off of streets, women soldiers. Like, it's just, come on, guys. Like, I don't know. I'm just so, like, if it's not going anywhere, let's just not talk about it. That's my thing. And I don't know. I don't, like, it's not going anywhere. So then let's just talk about something else. But, like, instead of talking about how it's not going somewhere. And,
all right.
Yeah. I don't know. I was going to talk about Assassin's Creed, but, like,
I would like to talk about Assassin's Creed.
I know nothing about Assassin's Creed.
Which is why you shouldn't have talked about something depressing and endless before it. Oh, we gotta get the real.
I actually just wanted to hear a debate between Norm Finkelstein and Oh my god,
Ben Shapiro. No, it'd just be like two very
Ben Shapiro.
Thing. Like Ben Shapiro is not a very good debater, and like Norm Finkelstein, it would be like honestly, it would just suck. It would be very boring to watch. Like I hate to say it.
You think so?
Because here's the thing, they would Ben would just be talking really quickly. Norm would just be like staring at him, and then like here's the thing, it would create a lot of like bitchy Norm Finkelstein TikToks, but to actually sit down and watch it, you would be deeply, deeply bored. It was like when Jordan Peterson debated Slavoj Žižek, and it was just like just two people not seeing eye to eye on an issue is not a very interesting debate, in my opinion. And that's the thing, where it's like there's not only is Ben Shapiro not an especially interesting person to listen to, nor like he would just be like repeating the same Hezbollah lines that Norm like Norm Finkelstein has been responding to for the last 20 years, right? Like he's so like Norm would just know exactly what to say, and Ben would then know exactly what to say in response to that, which is just like piddling bullshit, right? Like you would never, like neither of them would own the other person. It would just be this sort of like, it would just be two people shadow boxing at different walls.
I mean, I don't know if you saw Norm Finkelstein with I forget the name of the dude that he was debating on Rick Sanchez's show a few days ago. I would say he's pretty good. The only issue, and it's not that Ben Shapiro's not an interesting debater, is that people wait for him to say really dumb shit and then just clip it over and over and over, right? Which, I mean, that's kind of what he does. When he was talking about global warming that one time and said, like, well, you know, if you're worried about Florida dropping off into the Atlantic Ocean, I mean, you just sell your house and move elsewhere. You know, and
which is like, it's stupid. Like, it's a stupid argument. Like, and Norm Finkelstein would be like, that's a stupid argument. And then they would be arguing about the argument. And the problem with Ben Shapiro is that he's knows enough about how to like make a stupid debate point that it would be impossible. He knows how to wriggle out somebody actually like trying to nail him on something, and that's the problem I have. Yes, I don't know. Like maybe it'll happen. It's not going to happen, by the way. It's just going to be like Ben Shapiro is just going to like they're going to front it, and then he's just going to hold off. I don't think Michaela Peterson's very boring to me. She's not as interesting as her father, to be quite honest with you.
I've never actually listened.
I've never listened to her show either.
Oh, no.
Me neither.
So,
what made Michaela Peterson popular is just like Coomer culture. It's really it. It's like, oh my gosh, Jordan Peterson has a hot daughter, and that's pretty much what made her popular.
Like, dude, can I just say, and this is something I do have to like get annoyed with. Like, no, they're not hot. It's just a person with a normal body fat percentage. I'm sorry, like it's just no. Like I'm tired. I'm tired of like this is just a normal woman. Like you've just showed me a normal woman who's like not fat, and they're like, this is the hottest person alive. This is so.
I don't think she's the hottest person alive.
She's normal. She's a normal like. If you were to like talk to someone, like she's a normal person. She's not. There's nothing. She's not out of this world. She's not unattractive. She's not mid. She's just normal. Like it's just normal.
She's above like Target cashier caliber.
I don't even go that. Like it's just like most people. Yeah, it's just normal. Like I don't even have anything negative to say. Like it's. Yeah. So yeah, it's like I don't know. Like she's just normal. It's all right. And like Jordan Peterson is like again more. It's the least interesting thing about any of these people is how they look. Unfortunately, there's nothing entertaining.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No, that's the only reason why she had any popularity.
I'm mad at you. I'm mad at people for like pointing this out. Where it's like I don't know. Like it's very. Yeah, I just don't really. Maybe the debate happens. Maybe it doesn't.
You know what? There's a lot of people that are like performatively outraged at Coomer culture, but you are one of the people that I would say is the most fed up with this shit.
It's just like I don't want to talk about I'm just tired of deciding like hotness, like because again like as much as we love to make fun of the IDF for like hot people. Like they're trying to like get people into by having like hot chicks.
Yeah.
That's every political institution now. Is just trying to do that. The left does it. Sorry, they do it. The
left
right wing does it all the time. The only people who actually honestly don't do this are liberals, and that's just because they're so fucking chained to IdPol that they're like, no, we need to make a space for big, beautiful women. So it's just like, dude, no, like they just like, I will say like they just don't, they're not willing to like really.
I mean, the liberals also just like gas up, just straight up ugly people.
Yes,
you know,
it's like, what's that like?
You remember how many liberal women were down bad for Beto O'Rourke? I do.
Oh God, but that's also just this really like fake performative shit, you know, and it's also like, it's also the most type 2 diabetes chick you ever met, just like just spilling out sexual fantasies. No, it's true. It's true. Like I remember God, for a little while Roxanne Gay was just like on this bullshit every fucking day, talking about like guys that she would smash. You know when this became the worst it ever got was after that movie Moonlight came out. What was the guy's name? Trevante Rhodes. When America discovered Trevante Rhodes, and just like, yeah, before him it was Idris Elba. There's always like one black dude in media that everyone would just like talk about how soaked their panties are, and you'd look at them and it's like, oh my God, I don't want to imagine that.
It's no, I mean, here's the thing, like it's this very, what people have done is they've blended politics with horniness, and it drives me completely insane. It's like like this chick is ugly. It's like, no, she's just white. Like she's just like a moderately attractive woman who's white. Or it's like, oh, this like everybody's just become Dr. Umar, but for like a specific race. You know, it's really annoying. Like you notice this where it's, and the thing is, it's like with liberals, it's not even like they're not even like trying to do Dr. Omar for like white people. They're like Dr. Umar for like WOC generally. It's weird. It's like like stop. Like it's like if you don't think this girl is the hottest woman alive, and it's just like a random Mexican chick. Like I like she's not that hot. Like I don't know. Like it's just weird. It's all like so bizarre and performative horniness. That's what's driven me most insane.
Yes.
Is how like but everybody is just like, oh, like when those girls were like ripping down the signs and people are like, damn, have you ever seen a girl that hot? Like it literally looks like yes, I have. Yeah, I have. Like they're just wearing like a puffer vest.
Yeah, they just were dressed like two normal looking women.
That was actually okay. That was
people
wild.
Like started sexualizing them real quick,
and it was just
real
weird.
quick.
It's like,
hold on. Here's the thing. I said I wanted to smoke up with them, and people were like, "Aha! You see how leftist men are predators?" I was like, "What the? I just said I wanted to smoke up with them. Holy shit! I didn't say anything past that."
Yeah, it's like they seem like normal people. They seem fine. They seem like normal people. But like people are like, damn, look at these two hotties. It's like that looks just like everyone. Again, it's just two people with a normal BMI. That's how you know.
See somebody like that just standing at the bus
obesity
stop
is destroying America. Like you see somebody that like can regulate their like self intake and like not just like consume like 800 pounds of seed oils every day, and they're like, this is the most beautiful woman alive. She's like has like a normal face, but just isn't like, it's just exhausting.
I don't think it was so much because she was pretty. It's because of how like she just like told the girl, "Oh, fuck you, bitch." Like she has such an attitude, which I could see it, but I'm also like, again, I would run into somebody like that at the bus stop. Seems like she would be really cool to smoke up with, though. She's a normal
person. She's fine. Like I don't know. Like why is everything about horniness and like I want like, oh, this person's like they're hot. No, they're hot. It's like, oh God, like enough, dude. Like, can we all just wear burqas? I'm sorry. I'm like I'm fully on board with this now. Like, just everybody needs to wear a burqa in public because it's just boring. Like, I'm sick and tired of like having to talk about like it just not even having to talk, but just like everybody talking about this. Like, we're done. Horny. Like, and the reason why we're talking about horniness is because like everybody's just trying to turn themselves into a brand. And unfortunately, horniness is the easiest way to do that. It's like the lowest effort way to become popular.
Well, that's why we have this, deluge of artificial, nudity and sex, because it's now a branding exercise. It's a commodity. It has nothing to do with sex or with nudity. It's just a way to sell yourself.
Yeah, and
fucking Shoe on Head made a pretty like cogent point about this earlier today. I was like, damn, she be having thoughts lately. Yeah.
Dude, ever since she got married, she's like working on like full full gears. I mean, are you gonna show what the
Oh yeah,
I was about to say like, I'm like,
no, I was wondering where you're going with it.
Everybody's staring at me like I'm like, oh yeah, like
I was just wondering where you were.
I was waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Working on all cylinders, and then but everybody's just staring at me. I'm like, are we gonna get to that? Like, 'cause I don't want to just like stop and just have everybody.
Oh no! I was just
I was where you were going.
Waiting to hear what you were saying. Yeah. Okay, there we go. The screen share application on this, or the screen share on this application is sometimes so onerous, but here we go. I think culture has become so overly sexual that it's not even sexual anymore. I don't know how to explain. Like, pop stars twerking in videos, basically butt-ass naked, is just wallpaper. Desensitized. I miss tasteful thigh, perhaps a bit of side boob.
She's right.
Yeah.
100% correct.
Like, it's one of these...
Spot on.
Can I say, because this does tie back into, like, one of my Assassin's Creed points, but, like... Like, everybody has become so obsessed with subversion to the extent that, like... it's this thing where everybody is so obsessed with subversion, but, like, they lack the creative bravery to actually be subversive. It's like, oh yeah, like you expect the white guy to be like the hero, but actually it's the strong black woman who nobody listens to. It's like, no, like literally I don't actually expect the white guy. I expect him to be like an idiot and incompetent, because that's every movie now is like that. Every fucking movie is like that. Now it can still be a good movie. I'm not saying that like it has to be like, oh, like the white guy has to be the smart guy, but like it's not subversive anymore. None of this is subversive.
No, it's just become
the norm now. So like you can either just expect like make good movies with that norm, or you could try. I mean, literally a subversive movie would be like if you had like a movie about like, you know, where like strong WOC, but they're all fucking complete idiots. They're terrible. It's like Cersei Lannister in Game of Thrones, where they're just complete incompetence. They're terrible at their job. And like the white guy is actually like the cool guy who knows what he's talking about. That would actually be a subversive movie. People would actually get mad at you about that. Actually, people would get mad at you about that. Nobody's going to get mad at you for like making the like showing up the patriarchy by having a stroke.
No, what they're going to say is like, oh, I bet this is going to get Twitter mad. It's just
we're bored.
It'll annoy people because you're being such a...
and that's the thing.
Sorry, we're broadcasting on YouTube.
That's the thing where it's like, that's not subversive anymore. There's no subversion. Like, if you want to be subversive, you actually have to be subversive. You actually have to make somebody...
You have to take
risks.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, not just risks from, like, guys with, like, marble bust statues. You have to actually, like, possibly piss off, you know, like, annoying liberals on the internet. Which is, like, most people. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you would have to actually... And in order to do subversion, or you just don't do subversion, which is also fine. You don't need to subvert expectations every fucking time.
I actually have begun to actively hate when movies start pulling the rug out from underneath you. I hate it now.
Yeah, it's like
because you go in expecting.
Yeah, it would be like an episode of Matlock if it just turned out that the guy was actually the bad guy the whole time, and it was like, no, it wasn't like he wasn't like being framed. It was like, no, he's just actually bad. You'd be like, wow. I didn't expect that. Yeah. I expected it to be like, oh, you know, you think that it's this guy, but it's actually someone else. Like, yeah, no, there's like subversion is done. Like all this stuff about it's especially bad in video games. Like, have you seen like the characters from like the new Diablo game?
No.
Oh my God. It's just like everybody looks like this fucking like everybody just looks like a caveman now. And it's like, yeah, this is just a strong women. Like everybody, no, it's like, no, everybody looks like ridiculous. Like this is absurd. And it's like, oh, you just think that you expect everybody to just have big boobs and like just a traditional Western Eurocentric, which don't even get me started on that. Like you just expect games to like go into like a beauty standard. And it's like, yeah, no, I do. I mean, I don't. Sorry. Like it's gotten to the point where, dude, I don't know. I used to like games, man. I used to actually enjoy. No, like seriously.
I used to like games, but it feels like homework now. Speaking of games, like and Nina just pointed out that Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to be coming out.
It's going to be stupid. It's going to be like they're going to. I'm sorry, they're going to ruin the best part of Grand Theft Auto, which is like the radio stations. They're getting rid of that. All the stupid humor, I guarantee you, is just going to be completely fucking ironed out of that game.
Yeah,
because that was my favorite part about Grand Theft Auto. Was like it would just be like, instead of iPhone, it would be like iBone, and the logo would be like just a picture of a cock, and it would be like the stupidest fucking thing. But it was also like. That's like a 10-year-old would think that's funny, which is like in its own way very charming and funny. Like, no, it's gonna be. Here's the thing: they're gonna try to subvert it. They're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna show these. Like, oh, we all got our fucking degrees in like humanities. Oh, we're so cool. We all read the first 2 chapters of Settlers. We're so cool. We're gonna fucking. Oh, we're so leftist now. Aren't you fucking? Isn't it so cool?
Yeah, they read bell hooks.
And leftist we are. Oh my
the
God.
Yeah, they read bell hooks and Gayatri
Oh,
Spivak.
I'm at the DSA meeting right now. It's so fucking cool. We're so fucking rebel, dude. This is awesome. We're gonna make a game where it undercuts the expectations of like a GTA game, and it's like, oh, cool. Like it's just gonna be like every other piece of completely disposable media with nothing stands out anymore. And it's like it's all going to be like blended through HR, because let's be honest, like if you go and get a degree in like the humanities at this point, you're just getting a degree in human resources. Like that's what you're doing. Like you're just becoming an HR person. The only people that are going to remain at Rockstar are people who have been like gentled by HR. So they're like, you're not going to produce anything that is. It's going to annoy exactly like 5 people who nobody cares about. It's going to be completely bland and forgettable. And then it's just going to turn into like GTA 5, which is just like a game for like the ignored children of wealthy, like it's a game for latchkey children to like make poor kids think that they're cool. Like that's it. Like that's the whole reason why you play GTA 5. Like it's literally like, if you want to play GTA 5, like be prepared to drop like $700 in DLC on like or just play with your friend for like an hour.
Wait, GTA 5 or 6? Because 5 wasn't like
no,
that.
5, like dude, at this point, 5 is insane. Like the GTA Online.
Yeah,
it's GTA 5, right? That was the last one that was released.
Yeah, it's GTA 5.
Oh god, dude, have you played GTA Online from like the
Barely. My cousin was really good at it, and he had like an entire building.
Yeah, and he probably paid. He paid.
He owned like a building and had like a fleet of cars and shit.
He paid real world money for that, and that's the thing.
Holy shit.
It's all paid for. It's all DLC, dude. It's like it's. There's no skill to it anymore. There's no. It's just a bunch of paid deals. It's for latchkey kids. It's for latchkey kids and people who like work a full-time job and want to play like and just own people for an hour every day. It sucks. It's really. So like, yeah, I'm not excited for GTA 6, dude. I wish I was. I wish that we still lived in a world where you could like make where like you know what, they're gonna try to subvert the name.
Well, here's like, video games now have just become, I mean, broadly because of the whole like DLC craze. I remember when DLC was like, the game would come out and then I don't know, like a year later there would be like additions to the game. That was a relatively new thing. I think the first game to really take advantage of that was Fallout 3.
You think?
I mean, the first one I think that it became like broadly popular was the expansions to Fallout 3. There's always been expansions to games. Like it wasn't even it wasn't DLC because you couldn't download it. Most of our internets were not fast enough for that back then. So you had to buy the expansion packs at the store, right? Yeah. But now it's just become like a thing where you buy the game, but you're not exactly getting the whole game. There's just stuff that's like blocked behind a paywall, and sometimes, right, with the game's released, sometimes the publishers have enough decency and dignity to wait a couple of months first before they drop DLC. But it's just like you're paying for. You're basically like the game disc that you buy is like the cover charge to go into a casino.
Yeah, well, and literally in GTA 6's or GTA 5's case, like literally like every DLC is like a different casino. There's so many casinos, so many casino robberies in that game.
Holy shit! Okay. I didn't even know that because I haven't been playing it online. I bought it when it came out, but I did not play any part of it online. I played it until the main campaign.
Yeah, no, me too. But like, yeah, GTA Online now is just like that's the reason why I haven't released a new GTA game in years, is because GTA Online is such a fucking I think it actually might be the single most valuable or most profitable piece of media in like human history. Is GTA? Oh yeah, shit. Like way more profitable than Lord of the Rings, I think at this point. Like, because like they literally sell so much DLC from that.
Okay, I'm looking up how much Rockstar's earned from GTA
it's in the
5. It's earned, okay, as of June the 8th, 2023. And this is according to Watcher.guru, which okay, fine. Let's look for an actual like reputable publication here. And there aren't any that really seem to be able to answer.
Here we go. It's the second best-selling video game.
Okay, PC Gamer says that it makes $500 million a year. Holy shit!
Overall, as of 2023, it's made $8 billion. It's an insanely profitable. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's literally a game for latchkey kids at this point. Yeah, and that's why. Why do you think they haven't made a new GTA in years? Because like they're literally
need to.
Yeah, they're raking in $500 million in almost like pure revenue, or in pure like I don't know what the profit like PE ratio is, but like.
Okay, so Screen Rant says that it makes about $2.5 million a day. $104,000 and $1,738 a minute.
Yeah. No, I mean it's crazy how much money GTA 5 makes. So yeah, like they're with GTA 6, like the problem with a game making that much money is that it curses it, right? Like any game that is that successful is now cursed forever. Like it's why that there's never going to be a Half-Life. I mean, I guess there might be a Half-Life 3 at some point, but like once you.
It's never gonna. Is it? Do you think it's ever gonna happen?
I think it's gonna. Well, here's the thing: it won't be called Half-Life 3. It'll be called something else, but it will be the next Half-Life game.
Yeah.
Like eventually, something becomes so totemic. It becomes so. There's so many expectations are placed on it that it's like impossible now to make a new Half-Life game without it being a complete disappointment. So they just won't do it, right? And with GTA 5 or GTA 6, it's like they're gonna have to do it because at a certain point, I think they're realizing like, no, we need to get people back into this market because we're probably, to a certain extent, they're realizing that they're eventually going to start to lose money, and so it's probably a good idea to make sure that like people are at the very like they've made about as much money as they can off of this, and now they have to get a new group of people kind of worked into it. The problem with that is that because it's so valuable, they cannot fail, which means that they are going to do everything in their power to avoid every possibility of it failing, which means they're going to have nothing. Nothing.
You don't want your game. You don't want exactly. You don't want your franchise to like hit the Fallout 4 curse.
I feel like Fallout 4 was pretty successful though.
It was successful, but people hated it.
Yeah, because it
sucked. That's one of the other things too. Is that, well, I mean, because Fallout doesn't have like an online component, so there's only so much money you can make from it. So it made a bunch of money, but then it got bad reviews, and then all of a sudden sales dropped off. Apparently they've like added a lot of fixes to Fallout 76 that makes it fun, but my initial experience playing it was so rotten that I don't think I'll ever go back to it.
Yeah, and that's their like Rockstar is going to try to avoid that, so they're going to avoid every kind of controversy. We're not going to get all the like you can kiss like they're going to rename the Vespa to something else. But then they're going to be like very twee about it, like, "Ooh, it's not the Faggio anymore. It's like it's going to be something stupid." Like I can't even think of. My brain does not work in such a way that I could think of what their way of subverting that name will be. It's not all of that's going to get wiped out. It's going to be like I guarantee you, they're going to do like some self-referential like they're going to reference how successful GTA 5 is in a way that's just not very funny. and annoying.
Yeah.
The thing I actually hope is that they take a lesson from what was that game? The new Saints Row game, which literally like made me want to die playing it. I can't say what I was gonna say, but if you've ever seen a video,
made you want to self-delete for the YouTube crowd.
Yeah.
They've even nerfed conversations in real life. This is what online does.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. Everybody's just gentle now. It's terrible. It's the worst thing. This is why I only watch the only videos I watch online now are like weird like Let's Plays of Mountain Blade and Sam Hyde. Those are the two things.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let's go.
Thanks for admitting on our show that you're a Sam Hyde fan, by the way.
I mean, I like Nick Roachford more, to be quite honest. I don't actually find Sam Hyde that funny. I do appreciate there's somebody that's just like willing to like yell about stuff and be angry and annoyed about things. I always appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate someone who genuinely does not seem to care about how the algorithms view him, which is nice. You don't get that anymore. He is the anti-Coomer person. Let's be honest. Like, if there's one guy that legit does not give a fuck how he looks, it's Sam Hyde.
Wow.
Like, he's the opposite of Coomer. Like, I mean, you see pictures of him. He looks insane all the time.
He looks like somebody that needs to be locked in.
Yeah, and that's part of the
people like that used to be put in the circus or like front lines of combat.
Here's the thing. He's doing that intentionally. Like, that's the thing I kind of appreciate about it. Whereas like everybody else now is just so buffed their own image. They've gentled their own image to the extent now that it's like, yeah, everybody's just trying to be hot online. It sucks. I hate it.
Everyone's trying to be.
I'm just glad that like we have at least one person who's willing to like actually look like a complete basket case on the internet, purely for that reason. I respect it. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Like, it's like this thing where everybody is trying to be hot, and he's like the one person that's like, no, I'm going to do everything in my power
to be as repulsive
to look
as
as insane as possible. And it's like, I respect it. It. I'm sorry. I respect it. And like insane in a way that is not tied up in like any kind of political valence. Like, he's not like, oh, I'm gonna like grow out my armpit hair and not do any, and not like, you know, as a way to blow up the patriarchy. It's like, no, he just takes a bunch of like HGH to look like a fucking mental case. I love it. I'm sorry. It's great. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's something. There's texture, right? There's texture. Nothing else on the internet is texture anymore.
It's not you know, anodyne and flat.
Everything
like
is anodyne and flat.
We get now.
And here's the thing. I hate to say this, but like the amount of anodyne shit that's coming online, unfortunately, a lot of it is like, people say like the right can't meme, or like the right isn't funny, or this or that, and that is true to a certain extent. The problem is that the left is very bad at being generative. I've noticed, like, it's just a little too detached and cynical. Where it's like, yeah, so like people, like I was saying this before, like, or I was saying this to someone last night, but I'm like think about all the like memes online, all the political memes, all the political statements. Like, because I was thinking about this, like, how much of our modern parlance comes from, like, online parlance comes from incel forums. Like, it's kind of crazy how much.
Yeah,
Chad
looks maxing.
Yeah. Like soy. All of that comes.
Seed oils, even.
Seed oils. That actually is a Twitter thing. That's like Bronze Age pervert stuff.
Is it?
Yeah,
that seed oil came a little later.
Those are like the you know, the Will Blunderfeld types. You know, the guys who do the retreats and, you know, jerk off together. Those are the seed oil guys.
But here's the thing, like, all of that others, like, but pretty much all the Wojaks, that came from the right wing. Like, it either came from incel forums or like right wing chants. Like, that's it. Pretty much all of our language comes from that. Like, what has the left come up with?
Well, that's why I was. Well, that's
cucks. Remember cucks?
Cucks is another one. Another great word. Yeah. That also,
you know, all the Pepe memes.
Pepes, dude. Yeah. Like Pepes, Wojaks,
yeah.
Even Doomers.
Yep.
That came from right wing.
Well, that's why I was cracking up because some dipshit decided to tweet that conservatives don't know how to make great art. I'm like, that is such utter bullshit.
That is nonsense.
Well, no, like, here's the thing.
Because they don't have the empathy or whatever.
Nobody knows how to make great art anymore. That's the problem. Like none of us. Everything is so.
I think we know how to make great art. We're just too afraid to make it anymore.
We live because everything is online now. I think this is the real issue.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at this show, for example. Like, what are we doing? We're just commenting on other things. Everything is commentary and critique of other things.
Well, thanks for slagging our shit on our own show.
I'm not slagging our own shit, but it does have to be understood in that context. It's pretty much everything you're going to visit online. Yeah. It's just
everything right now is meta narratives.
Exactly, meta narratives. It's critiques. It's this. It's that. And it's like so everybody is so fixated on critique that they're not actually spending time and energy and effort making things.
Hey, speak for yourself, asshole.
I'm working on trying to make some things.
I'm working on some shit.
No, I know, but look, I'm not saying that like each individual person isn't. Like, I'm doing my own fucking thing. I'm like everybody's like working on their own projects, but in terms of like actual money and generative effort, production,
right.
most of it is going into like podcast. Like, you know, I mean, they're still making movies, but movies are very self-referential. They're not pushing any barriers. Everything's safe. Everything is tied up to try to appeal to critics. That's the problem.
It's because like there's so much sunk into movies, and the reason that the movies have these insanely bloated budgets now is basically just like it's embezzling.
It is. It's straight up money laundering.
Which is fine.
I mean,
you have to make so much money back.
There was no reason for She-Hulk to cost $25 million an episode, other than embezzlement.
Yeah. This, like,
that's
that literally is what pays for the state of Georgia. Is that.
Yeah,
pretty much.
The problem is,
but no, you're right. Well, here's the thing: we've like generally, and this is not just film. This is almost everything. We've passed into the stage of like meta-modernism. So we're past postmodernism. We're just into meta-modernism, where nothing new can be created because everything, as you say, is self-referential.
Yeah.
Right. So everything is like text commenting on text.
Well, that's why we're recycling countercultures. Constantly in fashion, in movies, in music. I mean, like, I have never seen, I never thought I'd see such a resurgence of colored hair, like I did in the 90s, like I have in recent years. And subverting expectations just became a trope. It became a trope, like every other trope. So that's why you don't have movies which take risk or challenge anymore, because they are just following a formula, which is subverting expectations.
Yeah, and the point of, I mean, like, the thing is, like, if you want to actually subvert expectations, like, I mean, I hate to say this, but like at this point, you're probably gonna have to, like, the one thing that does culturally, at the very least, subvert expectations is right-wing stuff. Unfortunately, like, I mean, what? Name one, like, if you made a movie.
No, like, I was just gonna say, because Melanie and I were discussing this last night. I don't know if you ever saw that movie Bone Tomahawk. Really good movie, by the way. I recommend it.
Craig Zoller, my man.
Craig Zoller, yeah.
No, it's my favorite cut of steak. Bone and Tomahawk.
He's only made 3 movies, and they're all great, Rory. I think you'd actually like them.
That movie with Vince Vaughn.
Brawl in Cell Block.
What was it? Brawl?
Dodgeball? Yeah, great movie.
Yeah. Oh, Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Dragged Across Concrete with Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn.
Yeah,
which is my favorite.
Those were really good, and it was they were subversive in a way that I was not expecting. Yeah.
How so?
I mean, I couldn't really explain the subversion part without spoiling the movies. I will say though that like the hero character, for example, from like Bone Tomahawk, you expect was going to be Kurt Russell, but it kind of wasn't. Patrick Wilson's character, it was just kind of like nebbishy, farmer who ends up like breaking his leg, and then his wife gets kidnapped by this tribe that has barely been contacted by human society out in the plains. And yeah, like you'd expect that it was going to go almost towards like a SJW type route, and the characters that you expect are going to survive in the movie don't survive, and the character that you least expect to actually become a hero in the movie is the one that becomes the hero. in a way, and he does it in a way that I wasn't expecting either. But again, like I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. But yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, he actually, I think, knows how to write and direct a good movie. And then there's, like, I don't know, man. Edgar Wright, the guy behind Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, which I liked those movies, but now apparently he's gonna direct a Barbarella movie. And I'm just like, Jesus, man. He's, like, the last person that I want to see. Like, I'm sorry. There's some degree of horniness needed to direct certain kinds of movies, and unfortunately, Hollywood has all the wrong kinds of it. I think that, yeah, unfortunately, they canceled all the usefully horny people. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think the thing is, like, it's just, at least culturally speaking, and there are certain issues where you're just not allowed to talk about it. Like, I can guarantee you for a fact, like, a pro-Palestinian movie would get kind of canned, like stuff like that, where there's like individual issues. But broadly speaking, like, you can make, I mean, like, Parasite came out and everybody jizzed their pants about Parasite. And then we have the counter jizz our pants where it was like, oh, actually, it's not that leftist, but maybe it is that leftist. Maybe it's not. And it's like, but largely, in fact, the media at least is very open to that. Whereas, like, yeah, if you just made a movie, like, if you just made like a straight up fascist movie, people would have like a fucking meltdown, right? Let's be honest.
Shit fit. Yeah.
Shit fit. And like, and yeah, it's like maybe whatever you can say about culture or society or the economy, regardless of that, but or whatever you can say about society and the economy, like culture is firmly progressive left loaded, which means that you can no longer subvert it in a leftward direction. You just can't. Like, there's not going to be a leftist counterculture because it's like that counterculture already happened. And it's so now, like, the only way you can really be a counterculture is to be weird right-wing guy. But that also sucks because I don't want to be a weird right-wing guy.
No.
Although, I mean, I don't know, like, maybe get into seed oils or whatever. I mean, hey, like, no, people seem like it seems like it's good for your health at least. I mean, it's better than just like the most right-wing coded thing you can do is just like exercising a small amount of self-restraint and discipline, which is kind of insane to see.
Yeah. It's called fascism.
Some body fascism.
It's just in anything. It's like, well, like, it's like, oh, well, like, I have like a mental disability, which means like I have to like stare at like, you know, like browse on Twitter 900 hours a day. It's like, okay, cool. Okay, like I have this, like, there's you just have a million things that exist which prevent you from doing what you want to do. But like the bigger issue, I think, honestly, is just like stop trying to subvert things. I mean, that's my biggest take on this is like just make something that's good. Like, don't make something subversive, because like the problem is that the only way you're going to make it subversive is if you just make a right-wing movie. Like, that's the only thing. Like, at this stage in Hollywood, like, it's fully right-wing. Like, just
you make Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, if you made a movie that was called but like wasn't, the problem with the Sound of Freedom is that it's not really subversive. It's just like yeah, we're just making it's just a weird right wing movie. Now, if you made it into and pretended it was like a different kind of movie and then like release, here's what I want to do: like a movie that's about like a QAnon movie, but they never talk about QAnon, but it just takes every single idea. And it's got like strong WOC characters. You can get like Winona Ryder in there, and get like fucking what's her face, the woman that always looks like she's like on the verge of tears. Oh, what's her face? The actress.
That's every actress.
She was in Django Unchained. I can't think of her name.
God. From Scandal.
Yeah, from Scandal.
Starts with a K. I can picture her face.
Carrie
Ann Washington.
Yeah, throw her in there. But then like the whole movie is just a Q movie. Like, that's what it is. Like, it just in the end, it's just a Q movie. And by the way, Q, one of the best cultural products. It's been QAnon is one of the best cultural products. We're about to get demonetized on YouTube. I'm not realizing.
Yeah.
Can't talk about it.
Wait, why are we gonna get demonetized? We're bringing up QAnon?
Yep.
You're not allowed to talk about QAnon on YouTube?
Oh, they get real pissy about talking about QAnon, about COVID.
It's called disinformation.
COVID.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Kinds of subjects.
Do not mention the fucking C word. You're gonna, that's gonna get you demonetized real fast.
C word. All right, you can tell me after.
COVID.
Yep.
Oh, what?
No, dude,
man?
you can't talk like, dude, you can't talk about anything anymore. And it's like,
Yep.
and I'm sorry, like, it's not conservatives that are doing this. I hate to say it,
it's
but
not.
it is like, and it's, I'm not trying to say it's like leftists either, but like, it's just, people really don't understand how weirdly.
Here's the thing: when you create these constraints on conversation, you turn every venue for conversation into a pressure valve.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like people can't actually say what they mean, so then everything just becomes this like argument over. Everything becomes an argument that hides what your actual real beef is, rather than just being able to talk about the beef you have. You know what I mean?
No, and that's the thing where it like feeds into, and it feeds into everyone's paranoia. Like, I can see why people are becoming more right wing now. It's like, yeah, because it's like everything kind of sucks. Like, let's be honest. I mean, I don't want to like dwell on it too much. And the things that you're not allowed to say are almost exclusively like right wing stuff. Like, you can't talk about like Q. You can't talk about COVID and a certain needle in needle.
Yes, a certain,
you can't talk like it's all. You can't show videos of guns because guns are not allowed. You have to do all the stupid weird bullshit that
you can't show videos of.
It's
very gun tubers.
They have to walk a very fine line. There's like, if you've ever talked to any of them, like they'll tell you like there is a list of things that you're supposed to do. You have to be very careful about it. You have to like run everything through YouTube, which takes forever. No, like you can't do anything like that. Everything is getting demonetized. It's like all of this is happening. Like, and that's the thing where it's like you've created this world where everything kind of sucks. And the most subversive thing you can do is be right wing, which is not a good sign, guys. Like, it's a bad thing. You don't want that. You want and that's the problem with clamping down like the January 6th stuff. That's the problem with clamping down on like all this, is that it creates it gives power to a right wing counterculture. And legitimacy to a right-wing counterculture, which I'm sorry, like the left-wing counterculture, at least culturally speaking.
Well, I mean, the left wing doesn't really have.
No, it doesn't. It varies between like
the left-wing counterculture is essentially lobotomy.
Yeah, it is. It's just it's cynicism. It's disabused cynicism. It's like like everything's stupid, like everything sucks, which is fine. Like everything is stupid, and everything does suck. I'm very cynical too, God knows, but like it gets to a point where it's like that's the only thing it can be. Which means that like it's not very. You get very funny shows, you get very funny people, you get very funny opinions, but like it's not generative. Like the ideas are only, it's iterative, not generative, right? Like, yeah, the left wing can make fun of like Chads, but it can never think up of its own version of a Chad. Although I will say the one exception to that is Chud, I think.
Right. Well, I mean, people like picked up on an old movie. I was actually even surprised that enough people had watched that movie to make it into like a cultural meme.
It's just a good word, honestly. It's got that. I think a lot of people that use it don't even know the origin of the
where it comes from. Like, the horror.
Yeah, the horror movie. Yeah. But the thing is, like, that is nothing can be really generated because again, it becomes a space that is very inhospitable to any kind of iconoclasm of any kind, or like like a weird like Bronze Age pervert guy that's just really bizarre in his own way. Generally doesn't get a lot of play on the left. They tend to they tend to get kind of like blown out due to like some weird cultural issue. They get into fights with people. They have a wrong opinion on something. But I think the right is a little more hospitable to that. And I'm not trying to say that like one is better than the other, but like it is, I don't really see a lot of weird guys except for like on the left, honestly. I don't. I'm sorry. Like, I don't. I mean, who is a weird guy on the left? apart from, but like in a generative sense, like he's doing his own very unique, weird thing.
I have no idea. Here's the thing. I just don't.
There really isn't. Like you don't get like Paul, like who's his name? Paul Scholes, Lindy Man.
I have no idea.
You know Lindy Man?
Yeah.
Lindy Man.
Lindy. Oh, I see people post that guy's like profile picture on Twitter. I have no idea like who he is or what he does.
He's just like he's like a lawyer from New York that he like does weird shit with like Perry Abbasi and like talks about how like things are or are not Lindy. Like we have to like go back to like rebuild this, like it's very like kind of ersatz philosophy, but it's at least something.
Oh, boy.
But here's the thing, like but that's exactly the thing. Is like, oh boy, here we go. But it's like what else? Like, I mean, what is is there that kind of like weird thought coming in on the left? No, it's all like LARPing. It's all like, well, here's how we're gonna like violently overthrow the US government. It's like, no, you're not. Like at least Lindy Man can do his own thing, right? So I don't know. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like it's just not generative. It's and so like it will all, because it comes from this position of very detached cynicism. Like you're never going to get anything good from it, which is depressing, but no, that's life. Yeah, it sucks. Like it would be nice if there was a counterculture that wasn't entirely wrapped up in the right wing, but unfortunately there just isn't. Because again, it's a left-wing culture that is too closely associated with liberalism. Which is why like, you know, instead of like talking about like, you know, when like something horrible is happening in Gaza, what are we all talking about? Well, who's white? Oh yeah, like there's white people, but also they've internalized whiteness, and really this conflict, it's all about whiteness, which is like, well, what does that mean? Like it's a bunch of brown people. Are you saying that they're white? It's like, well, no, but they've internalized it, and it's like that just means bad things. And I know why they're saying it. They're saying it because that kind of thought is compatible, is like they pulled that from like liberal culture and like squeezed it into like a different political context in a way that just turns it into like mush. Right?
It's chewed into a cultural bolus.
Yeah, so it's
this idea of like everybody being white or not.
Yeah, it's white. Like that's why it's so funny. Like it's like when someone was like, "Oh yeah, Jewish people are just white," and it's like in America, and everyone was just like, "This is what they think of you. This is what they think of Jewish people. They think they're white," and it's like, I thought that was like a good thing. I thought we were all supposed to be like being white was a good thing. I thought it was like a privileged thing that you would aspire to, but I guess it kind of sucks. I guess it seems like everybody seems pretty pissed about being white, actually, now that I mention it. And it's like, yeah, because culturally on the internet, in like weird, annoying liberal forums, that like it's just associated with being a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, which means that like literally every conflict in the world has to be fed into this like idiotic brainworm idea of like, oh, we're fighting international whiteness. We're fighting international white supremacy. It's like, how the fuck what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I've seen people try to apply white supremacy to like South Indian politics. I'm like, you're a moron. You're a moron. Go back to college. Like go to
a different college, apparently, because the one you went to sucked.
Here's the thing, like the thing, and I hate to like to bag on the humanities too much, because technically I double majored in a humanity and a hard science, but like the problem with humanities is they're not rigorous anymore. Like it's become the thing you take just to get like a check mark on your report card so you can get a job.
Yeah.
Without putting in too much effort. Which means that you have like a generation of people who have like a half thought out idea about what certain things are, but not really like a fully formed idea. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just want to talk about sound. Can we just talk about video games next time? Can we just not talk about?
You don't even play video games anymore.
I'll play video games if I can just. I mean, even if I would prefer to talk. Like, I would literally prefer to talk about anything. Like, I'm. You can tell how fried and tired I am of like, even thinking.
No, I'm pretty burnt out myself. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, this whole like war footage stuff. Not that like following it has burnt me out. It's the way that people talk about it has completely fried me at this point.
Yeah, I just read the New York Post at this point. Like I just no, seriously, like it's fun. Like Travis Kelce is like hanging out with Taylor Swift in Argentina. That's fun. That's a fun thing. No, there's just nothing like nothing's fun anymore in politics. Everybody's angry about everything, and yeah, let's just I don't know. Let's make a video game to play or like talk about. Let's talk about let's do a show where we just talk.
It's not going to be Tarkov.
No, we're not. It won't be. That's just nothing. There's nothing to talk about with that. Like, let's talk about something fun, like Assassin's Creed. We'll talk about Assassin's Creed on Sunday. Like
we'll talk about Assassin's Creed next.
Yeah, because
I'll go back and get the original. Maybe I don't know if it's available on Steam or not.
I assume it is.
Okay,
it's on Steam.
Oh
yeah, if it's
certain games that I play on PC and certain ones that I don't, and a lot of like most action games I usually played on console.
Yeah, and well, I guess you could probably
Baldur's Gate 3. I bought it, I downloaded it, haven't touched it yet.
Dude, yeah, the game again.
A lot of video games now it seems like homework assignments.
Dude, yeah, and now it's
just not fun like it used to be.
It's this other thing where like, I mean, Baldur's Gate, it's a good game, but like. Can I just be honest? I'm so sick of. I know that like wokeness is a fake thing that's like made up. That like obviously just like whatever. But like,
okay, how was wokeness killed Baldur's Gate now?
Dude, it's one of these things where it's like we've added in representation for everyone. Aren't we good? Aren't we good for doing that? And it's like I wouldn't care if it was there, but the fact that you like are so like happy with yourself about, like, you can just tell that like the programmers in Baldur's Gate were like. Oh, is it funny that you can have gay sex with a bear? It's like, no, not really.
Well, you can. I'm sorry, you what? Did you make that up or is that something
that's
actually in the game?
Yeah.
Get the fuck.
And it's like, it's like, it's just exhausting. It's like, what, you want to fucking pat on the back because you can play as like a butch lesbian woman who doesn't identify as a gender. Like, it's just like, it's just exhausting. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I don't even want, like, I'm not like this, like, we need to return to like, every game just being like a certain way, but like, can you just make a game? Like, can you just make a game that's fun? Well, I don't care if nobody makes you fuck the bear. It's just the fact that you can do it. Like, can you make a game where you can join the KKK? No, of course not. No, I'm serious. If they made a game where you could join the KKK, like nobody would be like, oh, well, you don't have to join them. They'd be like, no, we need to talk about how this represents a recalcitrant right-wing view of the world. It's just like, oh.
And now you're gonna get people clipping you and saying that
I don't care.
Being LGBTQ is like joining the KKK.
But the thing is, here's the thing, and if you want to clip me, I'm sure that's going to be like a thing. But here's the thing. Joining the KKK is more subversive than being LGBTQ in modern culture. Absolutely, it absolutely is. Like you will lose your job for that shit, and I will get in trouble for even mentioning that. Like, no, it will happen. Like, and that's the thing where it's like that's where I'm saying like we have gotten to a point now where culture is so captured progressively that you can't be like you.
It's not just captured; it's compelled.
It's captured and exactly. It's like compulsory, and so now like you cannot subvert that anymore. Like there's no further subversion. Like that's why like we joke about like the LGBTQIAP, and it's like, what does the P stand for? It's like, oh, it's like pedo. Well, I'm sure I'll get demonetized for that too. But like, but the point is like. And it's like, yeah, that's stupid. And obviously that's not the case. Obviously that's not part of it in general. But like, if you're going to be subversive, like that's the only real way you could be more subversive with like sexuality, to be honest with you, in the current culture is something like that where, but like going right wing is like, yeah, like there is a way still to subvert in that direction. So again, the problem I have is that like it's almost like the Polish light bulb joke where it's like one guy to hold the light bulb and like 10 people to like to spin the ladder. It's like how many people does it take to be subversive? Like 10. It takes one person to make a subversive joke and 9 people to explain to you how culture actually makes it so that this is subversive. No, it's like like again, if you listen to people talk about like culture and politics in video games, it literally they make it sound like it's 1987. and like literally every game is just like a white, like a steroid-ridden white guy, and it's like that has not been the case in games for decades. Decades. Like we've got like Call of Duty is releasing a World War II game where you can play as like a Sikh woman with like agoraphobia. Like we're getting levels of representation we have never before seen. But because it's so pointless and bland and tasteless and meaningless and nobody cares anymore, because again, that
Hold on, you want to know what's actually kind of wild about that? Okay, so I'm assuming that you were serious when you talked about like you can actually fuck a bear in Baldur's Gate. Okay, so you can. You know what's the wild thing about that? I didn't even know that. I never heard about it. There was no there was no outrage, there was no uproar, there wasn't like Christian parents groups picketing outside of who made the game. Well, anyway, whichever company made the game. There's nobody picketing outside their office.
No.
You know?
No,
like there really isn't anything subversive anymore.
No,
right?
and the thing is, like, people joke about like, to make Truth Social be like a big thing, you need to like pay liberals to be mad at it, and it's like, yeah, that's true, but like to make okay, can I tell you, this is going to go into video game lore here, but do you want to know the first time that somebody actually like put like basically it engineered controversy for their game? I remember
engineered controversy for their. Hang on, let me think about that. Maybe Night Trap, or
in modern times, like not like FMV.
In modern times? Oh, I don't know.
Do you remember Dante's Inferno? The game?
Yeah.
Do you remember they literally like paid people to pretend to be Christian to protest the game?
Did they?
Of course they did. Because here's the thing.
Oh my god!
Because this is one thing I want to say. Like, you look at like Assassin's Creed, like the first Assassin's Creed game. You know, like how every Assassin's Creed game opens, where it's like, this game was made by many people of different faiths and backgrounds, working in harmony. It's not meant to be anything. Do you think that was meant in the first game to be a fig leaf to like weird like trad caths in like 2006, 2007? No, they were freaked out because like, what if Muslims find out about this? What if Muslims get mad? Like they literally did. Yeah, like they thought that it was like, oh yeah, like this is they're gonna Charlie.
Yeah. People might get upset at their religion being misrepresented, so we just need to let you know we actually had some Muslim people on staff. Now, there are apostates, but also, you should know. Also,
like, who cares? Like, it's not like nobody's gonna be like. It's not like Altair is like Al Mualim is just like, Altair, I'm drawing the Prophet Muhammad's face on the wall.
Well, I was gonna say, like, this was also not long after like the Charlie Hebdo massacres.
Was it? I thought, when was Charlie Hebdo?
Or maybe it was before.
Charlie Hebdo was
like there was like
right. It was not in.
I thought Charlie Hebdo was 2012.
Yeah.
Okay. When was the first Assassin's Creed game out?
2008.
Okay. There was also whatchamacall, the drawing of the Prophet on, was it? No, it wasn't Charlie Hebdo. It was in Holland. It was some magazine in the Netherlands.
Yeah, dude, there's nothing.
But anyway, it was a thing.
More than just drawing the Prophet Muhammad's face. That's like their favorite. Like that should just be a flag of like belt. Like that should just be like the French flag. It's just like the.
Well, I mean, second to like black people and black, or second to blackface. They fucking love blackface.
It's all those things. Like, again, a powerful culture we must protect. But no, like I will say, Europeans love just being absurdly offensive in like a very weird way. More so, I would say, even than Americans. Like we're American.
No. The French love that shit. The Dutch love it. Belgians, yeah, they all really like to be offensive and then be very cute about it.
Yeah, but like you can tell that they really they were worried about protests from. I don't think they were worried about protests from like Christians, because basically the whole conceit of Assassin's Creed, like all of them, kind of, is that like God's a lie. It's all aliens. Very like our atheism, like 2007. Intro to philosophy, like kind of like, which is really stupid, but like, yeah, it's kind of funny. But you can tell like they really did because again, like that would be the one thing that could be like I'm sorry, like when you live in a hegemonic culture, like nobody's going to be that mad that you're like making fun of like Christianity. Like nobody's going to be like, I'm sure there's going to be like annoying, performative, like angry, like right-wing people, but like I just don't think anybody cared that much, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, like I mean, I think that people might be more, at the very least, more expectantly offended for a different culture. I think it's weird. It's a very strange thing that we have, where it's like people take more offense to that. I would say, at least in the U.S., than at least liberals kind of do. I mean, conservatives take offense to everything, but that's kind of a problem. Like they don't, it weighs it down. But the point is that like, regardless of any of this, it's like, yeah, like you can tell, like the way to be really subversive is to like, honestly go after like, is just to like kind of be a little racist in a game. Like that is, no, I'm serious. Like that's the only way you can be subversive. Like, you know, like, and the Assassin's Creed where they first started to get like obsessed with subverting expectations was Assassin's Creed 3, which is also when the series started to like go down a hill. Yeah, because it was like,
wait, was Assassin's Creed that was the one where you were a pirate?
No, it's
right?
the one where you're in America. That really.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
It was
yeah. Oh, that was really.
Because again, it was like it was just so. It was self-serious, right? It was like because they were saying like, oh, we're gonna subvert and I know, here's how I know that the woke mind virus has been alive the woke subversion virus has been alive in America for a very long time. When I was a kid, I remember them saying, you're not going to expect where we're going to take this discussion of like American history. I'm like, oh, it's just going to be that like the colonists were the bad guys and the British were like kind of bad guys, but not as bad. We know it. We've already seen it. And then it was like, whoa, isn't that crazy? It's like, no, not really. Like that's actually 100%.
That's pretty much what I expected.
Literally, that's exactly what I expected. If they literally made like the Patriot, I would have been surprised. I would have been like, oh wow, that's interesting that they just went full on like Mel.
That movie was so wild, by the way.
Movie, dude.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. That was just like, again, back when you could make good movies. Back with the Last of the Mohicans was the same thing, where it was just like, that was when you could just make a fun movie that wasn't fucking self-serious.
Fun fact, I went to school with Michael Mann's daughters. One of his daughters was in my class. I've actually been to his house where there was a replica teepee from Last of the Mohicans in the backyard.
That's so cool. I like, because again, that was like the last time. That was the last time you could just make a fun movie, like, you know, like, because now everything's so self-serious and like politically aware. It's like, no, we have to talk about how serious colonialism is.
Listen, I have high hopes for Ridley Scott's Napoleon. Okay.
I hope so too. Dude, like I would be down with like a Zulu remake. Just anything where it's like we can just have fun in movies and not have to like think. It's this
take everything so damn
Kingdom of Heaven rocks, so I'm trusting Ridley with the period.
Oh, Kingdom of Heaven is awesome. Like it's the problem is like we have this thing now where everybody has to have like a multi-ethnic cast that explores explores narratives that are rejected by mainstream hegemonic blah, 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 blah. You have to do all that shit, right? But then you can't have I'm serious, but you can't have fun with it anymore.
No,
so it's like
exactly. It's so
everything is just
serious.
Oh my god, Assassin's Creed 3 was
like in the I saw that they were or Disney wanted to have like the dwarfs in the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs movie be of like different like ethnicities and whatever. Like the dwarfs weren't even all male.
Dude, it would be
some of
so
them could be like
non-binary.
I would just like to see, because the lead actress playing Snow White, like she's Latina. Like all of those dwarves should only be able to speak in like the most offensive stereotypes.
That would be like, that's what I'm saying.
Like, they're just calling her slurs.
Every single dwarf is like a different ethnicity, but they're just all racist. Like
they're all racist.
It's like there's like a guy that just plays the gong everywhere you go. Like there's like I'm trying to think of like other. I mean,
No, yeah, you've got the Asian dwarf, like the African dwarf with the palm through his nose. You got the Latin American dwarf who's just like in a trucker,
no, he's
like a
got,
mesh
he's
trucker
wearing
cap and overall
like
jeans.
the top button is the only button on his shirt. he's like a cholo. There's like a triad dwarf.
He's got teardrop tattoos and shit.
Yeah, there's like a white guy that's like a cowboy. I'm trying to think, what are some other good stereotypes? There's like a drunk Eastern European dwarf. Like, well, I guess that's like still an okay stereotype. But yeah, like they're just all deeply offensive stereotypes. That would be a funny movie. That would bring America together, and we would enjoy it. Because here's the thing: everything has to be serious now. Have you noticed this? Like everything is just, like we need just like, every movie. We can't just have a fun movie where Mel Gibson kills British people. No, we have to explore how colonialism impacted the tribes of the lower Ohio River Valley. No, we don't. We can just have a cool movie where Mel Gibson does shit. Or maybe like an Indian guy does some shit. I don't fucking care. I just want cool stuff happening and no politics. No, and I don't even mean no politics. I mean like no self-serious, we need to talk about how this is a real issue. Like
we don't need a message.
No, it can just be like, what was the movie that brought everyone together on this? Django Unchained. Why? Because there was what was the message? Slavery is bad. Awesome. That's it. Everybody can agree with that. We don't need to pretend. It was just fun, enjoyable, like people being racist to each other. Because that's the thing is we live in the most racially conscious era in U.S. history, right? Let's be real here. Mm-hmm. That's all we can think about. Everybody is race pilled. It's to an extent where it's just it is hard to discuss. Like every movie we talk about, it turns into it honestly feels like a code noir official doing a read through to make sure that the admixtures of every actor is correct in a movie. Mm-hmm. That's we need to talk about the way that whiteness is centered in this movie. Stop. We think about it all the time, and yet movies and culture are unable to respond to it, right? You notice that? They can't really talk about it anymore.
Well, so that's also because film criticism has become just griping about whatever you're which movie was it? I think it was Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Some Asian writer wrote a whole screen about the stereotype of the Asian female character in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning and wah. And I was
can I just say we need to talk about Asian female writers and critics because it is getting I am
brother.
Sorry. It is getting out of fucking hand, dude. The fucking Marvel Eternals, dude. Holy shit! It was we need to talk about how Chloe Zhao is changing the world. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
It's dude, at this, guys, you literally are suing. You literally got the Supreme Court to overturn affirmative action in schools. College exams. You're white now. Welcome to the club. I'm sorry. We're done here. I've read too many articles about how people made fun of your lunch smelling bad. I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm done. Enough. Okay? We've heard
honestly,
it.
I don't buy it.
We've heard it.
Asian cuisine doesn't have such distinct smells that you would get made fun of for. I don't buy that at all. I just don't.
Yeah, it's and it's to the extent that it becomes almost offensive to white people. It's everybody showed up and took out their bowl of mayonnaise to suck it down, and then they played a traditional hoedown. Mm-hmm. They only ate spaghetti covered in mayonnaise with canned tuna fish. That's no. I'm sure people made fun of you for it because dude, kids make fun of people for everything.
Yes, because they're kids.
Yeah, kids teenagers are psychos. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but teenagers are the worst people in the world.
Yes.
you do not become like a fully rational adult until you're like 25. Like that is when like you gain empathy as a person, is in your like early 20s. As a child, like I look back at the stuff like we made fun of people as a teenager, and I'm like, oh dude, I was a psycho back then. Holy shit. And so like, yeah, I'm sure people made fun of you for your lunch, but it's like, who cares? Like it's like this you've turned this into like generational trauma, and it's like it doesn't have to be
epidemic trauma.
It literally does not have to be. Like it's like the struggles that you face as like a third generation Chinese person in America, like none, like none that are that serious. Like come on, like let's be real here.
No.
So yeah, like I don't know, like it's just everybody. I'm sorry, like they've all of these people have gotten into cultural criticism, and the problem with that now is that like it's like, how about we make a movie that's good? How about that? How about we don't think about any of this like does this adequately represent the lived experiences of like a Cantonese man who's like afraid of dogs?
If you want a movie that adequately represents the life of a Cantonese man, watch Cantonese movies.
Yeah, like
watch foreign fucking movies. Like you're so obsessed with representation, but all the people who are obsessed with representation
it has to come out of Hollywood.
Never watch international.
And here's
cinema.
the thing: it comes.
They never watch.
Here's the thing: unfortunately, no, you're 100% right, Melanie. Like, yeah, these people will not watch foreign cinema, and this is all being driven by like diaspora kids. If you really think about it, it's not actually coming from like Chinese people. It's not coming from like people in like Ghana or Nigeria. Like, Nigerians don't need to see Hollywood representation. You know, Ghanaian people are not interested in Hollywood representation.
Yeah, no, like
Jamaicans aren't. It's just diaspora kids that don't feel special anymore.
Yeah, it's like, well, here's the thing. It's just like you're just all white now. Welcome to the club. Like you don't have a culture now. Welcome.
Okay, fuck.
No, I mean it is. It's like that is a feeling of like, oh, I live like a totally boring suburban life. And I don't feel special, and nothing feels important to me. Like nothing matters. It's like, yeah, and that sucks. And like overcoming that is an important part. And like, and I'm sorry, like the people who feel that the most are white people. Like they like that's why every single white person tends.
I see what you're saying. Like everybody's experiencing suburban ennui.
Yeah, like that's
everyone's living American beauty.
Everybody's living in American beauty, except like.
Or like the ice storm.
Yeah, except now instead of like owning the house, you just rent it, which sucks. And it's like, so it's like more like bereft. It's like American midness. It's not even American beauty anymore. It's like, ugh. And so it's like in an attempt to like, instead of like building on that and like, you know, fully embracing it, you instead just like get mad at other people for not treating you like again, like we're in the same way that like the people from what's it called, Dante's Inferno hired fake Christians to yell and protest their game. Within 10 years, like they're gonna be like parents are gonna be like hiring white kids to like make fun of their Asian classmates. Because it's like, yeah, like what else? Like I need to feel.
I need to feel the experience of being discriminated against.
Like not even discriminate, just anything. Yeah. I just need the feeling of like something boring. Like I like anything to escape like the bland, unimportant acceptance of life. Like again, it's like I'm sorry, like I mean maybe like yeah, kids will make fun of you for everything, but like nobody's going through that much of a struggle. Like, you know, like they're acting like it was like American History X.
Well, no, nobody who has time to complain about it online is going through that much of a struggle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The people that are going through that struggle, they're not like they're
not online
like,
talking about it. Yeah.
They're online like yelling at each other about stupid shit. They're like you know, they're watching Kevin Samuels videos. Like they're having a good, like they're not clued into this weird online culture. Like what was that article you sent me? He was like bad something friend. I forget what it was. It was like
the bad art friend.
Bad friend.
Yeah. Oh, dude, literally reading that, I was like, okay, like Pol Pot had some ideas, man. Like, is a degenerate, monstrous culture that must be destroyed. Because like it's just, you're sitting here like, oh my god, like who cares? Like she stole my idea for the world's most boring book. Well, I don't even remember what her short story was supposed to be about, or like
I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was like her experience. It was some like bullshit about like I forget what it was. It was like some experience she had where like her it's some horse shit. I don't even remember, but like somebody stole like cribbed her life experience to write a story, and she had to make like an entire New Yorker article about it, and it's like like this like I miss like we need to have like here's the thing, we need to have cultural commentators, but ones that never went to college. Like we need I like, you know how like conservatives like to talk about like diversity of ideas. We do need to have diversity of ideas, like but not like, oh, we need to have like a slightly more racist guy that went to college. We need to have like an ICP fan. You know what I mean? Like we need to have a guy.
Yeah.
Like,
we need to bring the juggalos into the discourse.
We need to have like an actual white supremacist, like an actual like insane.
ICP fans aren't white supremacists.
No, not
Okay.
like we're talking different guys, like Varg, someone like that.
Oh, okay.
Like and not like like a weird like, you know, like Norman Podhoretz like thinks that he's an intelligent, like an actual Varg guy that's like, we need to make Lord of the Rings real so that like white people can invent Gandalf, like shit like that. You know, like just weird opinions. Like
yeah, we need the golden one.
Yeah, the golden one. Tariq Nasheed. You know, we need to like I mean, at this stage, like I don't know if what's his face. The guy in charge of Nation of Islam. I forget his name.
Oh, Louis Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan. Like I think Louis Farrakhan's getting up there.
Dude, bring him back into the discourse.
Yeah, he's getting up there in his years, though. He
is, but he's got. I mean, there's new nation people that are out here making inroads. I feel like they need their time to shine. Like Riza Islam, he needs to be out here.
Lizzo Islam.
Riza is. Could you imagine Lizzo converted to Islam?
Yeah, dude, that would be like something fun like that. Like just weird people that have weird ideas. And like that's what we need, like in terms of like cultural commentary. Because I want to hear what like Dr. Umar thinks about Marvel: The Eternals. I think it would probably be something weird. It would be interesting. Like it would be different. I mean, Jesus Christ, it wouldn't be just the same far arguments over and over. It's like, do you want a guy that went to college or a guy that went to college and is like a racist because he went to college? They both suck. They're the same person. They're just the same person, but just on different sides of things. Now, what I want to hear about is like a guy that thinks he's getting like gang stalked, an actual like QAnon person that like just shows up and is just able to like completely integrate everything into this worldview. That's what I want. That's the real diversity we need to bring back. The problem is that diversity just means like the same guy that went to college, but just a different race, which doesn't work, you know? And that's the race hour. Discussed a lot of things in the future. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking. I think that we pick a game. How about this? Q, you, fuck. I mean,
I'll get into Baldur's Gate.
No, don't get into Baldur's Gate. It's. I'm sure it's a fine game. I'm sure it's whatever. Get to let's both get into like different Assassin's Creed games, because I played Assassin's Creed. Right. What's the one where it's in ancient Greece?
That's Odyssey.
Hated it. Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
I couldn't play more than 5 minutes of Odyssey before I put it down.
It's so bad. I played that one, and I did briefly replay part of the first one. So I don't know. Do you want to like play? Do you have like any Assassin's Creed games in your Steam library?
No, because I only ever had like the PlayStation games.
You know
what? I don't even think I had the. No, I did have the first game, and the second game. I have no idea what happened to them. You ever just like have games that disappear from your own library? Like you have the physical copy, and it just vanishes.
It happens like you're moving somewhere. And
Yeah, I've got a bunch of games that I've just lost. I've got most of my consoles still, but I don't have a lot of my games.
Yeah,
Genesis, eh?
Yeah, because I mean, at this stage, like modern, I don't know, like I don't really have much interest in modern games, like especially not the modern Assassin's Creed games. So like, I'd rather just like go back and just chat about like just like fun older games and stuff. To be honest, like I don't know, like there's nothing really I have to add. I feel like I'm just slowly turning into Sam Hyde. And I don't.
You are. I'm. At some point, you're gonna end up donating to Nazis, and we're not gonna be friends anymore.
No, I mean, I'm not going to donate money to anyone, dude. I don't. What do I look like, a fucking idiot? I don't fucking donate money.
Yeah, giving money to a cause. What kind of shit is that?
No, it's fucking gay, dude. Oh, the last thing I donated money to was Bernie 2020, and how did that turn out?
Oh, brother, we're not gonna do that. We're not talking about that.
Nope.
Yeah,
here's the thing. I never really liked Bernie Sanders to begin with, but I'm not gonna gloat about that because a lot of people put their faith into him, and you know,
they were. I mean, and like, I think that was at the very least. I will say this: it was like people were brought together around something that was positive.
Assassin's Creed is not on Steam.
Is it
Weird.
not? Oh,
no, I guess not.
EA.
Oh, okay. EA Origin.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Assassin's Creed Origin, EA Origin.
I hate EA as a company so much.
Dude, I know, but they're all like that now. Activision Blizzard is bad. Fucking
no, it's Ubisoft.
I think Ubisoft is it's like maybe it's on like the Epic Games Store. It's on a different game. No, I hold on. I feel like didn't EA acquire?
No, Ubisoft it's a self-contained French company.
Yeah.
How
do you like? Hold on, Assassin's Creed.
Okay,
there's a service for it.
Director's Cut Edition.
I don't know what maybe... it's no, you're right. It's the Ubi store.
Okay. Oh, what the hell? There's an Ubi like gaming app.
Oh, dude, they like Ubi. Here's the thing: everybody gets mad at like EA and shit, but it's like, dude, they're all like this now. Every game is like this. Like every game company is just Ubi is just like EA now. Oh my god, there's so many fucking Assassin's Creeds. I'm just like looking at this. Like,
no, hang on a second. No, I'm seeing it on the store online, but then my store, like on like my app, can't find it. That's weird.
Are you looking at Steam?
Yeah, I'm on my Steam app. Oh, you know why? Oh god, because they do these stupid categories now, and it's like I think it was just searching free to play games.
Yeah, and here's the other
all products.
Yeah, and like I think that Ubisoft is weird about that, where it's like you can buy the game, but it has to be played through the EA. Like there's like an in-game EA app that runs at the same time as Steam, and you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Can we just have a game that runs? Like do I have to have like 16 different stores? It was
8. Hold on a second. Assassin's Creed 2, $20. Brotherhood, $20.
It's so expensive, dude. It's crazy. I know, dude.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, $79.
Assassin's Creed 1 should be like $5.
Are you guys out of your fucking mind?
Dude, Assassin's Creed 1 should be like $5. I'm sorry. Like that's
these people are nuts.
Dude, they're smoking crack. Like it
I will pirate this shit.
Yeah, dude. Like honestly, at this stage, yeah. Like, cause here's the thing. Like, dude, I'm sorry, but like both EA and Ubisoft are especially the one thing that I think that Steam does kind of get right is they do recognize that like no, like $10 is like a pretty good price point for a game that's like 15 years old.
Yeah.
Whereas Ubisoft's like, no, like $30. Like
$30, yeah, that's a fair ask.
You should be able to pay like $30 for like Assassin.
Nintendo's like that too.
I know.
Nintendo will charge you like $30 for Chrono Trigger. Just look you dead in the face and say, "Yep, $30."
It's like it's insane. It's like this game came out like 15. Like you guys made your money off of it. Like, dude, and it's like, well, yeah, but if we come out with it and like make it cheap, like then nobody's gonna pay for it full price. Like, dude, if somebody's gonna wait 4 years to play a game for it to go down to like $10, like they're just gonna pirate your game, dude. Like they're just gonna steal it. Like I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, like, because again, like, there's so many times when I'll be like, I'm willing to pay $10 just so I don't have to go through the process of like finding like a cracked edition of like Assassin's Creed 1. Because that's a pain in the ass. Then downloading it, trying to get to run, and then it doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, I'll just pay like $10 so I can get it. But then it's like 30 or like $29.99, and I'm just like, no, I'm not paying that. I'm paying $20 to play Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah, I'm not paying $80 for a recent. Like, come on now.
Yeah, like,
I mean, the franchise has fallen off so bad. I granted, there's always like humble bundles and that kind of thing. But still, dude,
it's like. I mean, Steam did figure out like how to get the sales down really well, but like, yeah, no, you're right. Like, it's this, they really do think they're like, no, like, this is our, and I will say you are correct. Nintendo is the absolute fucking worst for that, dude.
Yeah.
They are so fucking bad. It's like, they really do expect you to pay 70, like, they expect you to pay like $20 for like Super Mario Brothers
for Super Nintendo games. I know.
It's like that's insane. Dude, that's like, I'm not gonna pay $20 for a physical copy of this game.
Yeah.
Much less a digital, like.
If I was to go to like a vintage gaming store, like a secondhand store that's obviously not like EA games, but like, like a local indie gaming store. The only reason I think somebody would ever, I wouldn't do it. I think the only reason somebody would ever shell out $20 for a physical copy of it is just for nostalgia's sake. Just to you're never actually going to play it. You're just going to have it there in your collection.
Yeah, like you just want to have like, or you play it for like 10 minutes or like have a little blast and you like go, like $20, dude, for a digital copy. No, and I think that's like everything now. It's like they've way overvalued the quality of their product, especially for like a 10-year-old game. Yeah. Like I actually do think that they are like, it's kind of ridiculous they're charging that much. But yeah, just let's play some Assassin's Creed games, dude. Let's go back and just like have some fun. Let's have some fun playing video games, man. I'm
oh god, like, so we're pivoting to game streaming.
I mean, dude, I'd be down. Like, I mean, at this stage, like anything to not talk about.
You know what though? Yeah, here's I kind of hear what you're saying. And Melanie, you tell me what you think. It's just like, I get no peace in my mindless hobbies anymore. You know what I mean? If it's anything to do with the internet, if my mindless hobbies carry me in the direction of the internet, I not only don't get peace out of it, it stresses me the fuck out.
It's all like, because again, like everything has been injected with very pointless meaning now, which it's just like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think, like, I honestly, like at this stage, like I'm fully just not really posting on Twitter anymore. Like, I just think I'm giving up on that. Like, I didn't do it all day today, and it was probably the best day I've ever had. And like, not thinking about stuff.
Really? Yeah, it's funny because I called you up, and then the first question you asked me is like, all right, how's Twitter? I'm like,
how's Twitter? How's things? I'm like, yeah,
I hadn't really been on, but
dude, yeah, this happens like every time there's like a cycle where it's just like I'm just so exhausted and annoyed with people that I'm just like, yeah, I just don't want to think about it. And it's like, yeah, let's just get to video games, or like let's watch some bad movies. Like, let's just do some bullshit.
It's just also been an exhausting month. It's been a month.
Guys.
Yeah, it's been
a month. And like, frankly, I don't know squat about video games, so I can't contribute to that in any capacity. But I mean, we can always go back to talking about relationship stuff. That's what we used to do.
See, that was my, like, we're never doing that again. Because like, here's the other thing I realized, like that's even worse. Like, because again, like that's everything is politics, and everything political is now just a weird relationship thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's just
and especially like the relationship shit has like infected every corner of discourse. Mm-hmm. Everything. I don't know if you saw like the tweet about like somebody was saying, the reason. Listen, certain demographic. I'm just not going to say who, but they're like, yeah, the Israeli propaganda is like promoting like white Israeli women who are like beautiful and clean, as opposed to like those dirty soot-covered Palestinians.
Desirability.
How much?
Tweeting about desirability during a fucking genocide.
How much did said person weigh?
Kevin Samuel's question.
We're not gonna talk about that.
I know.
I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way.
They were overweight.
She weighed more than a man at her height.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Michael Scott. Like, if I was in a boat, could I row with her in a boat? Dude. Like, it's yeah. Again, it's like a certain. Dude, I'm sorry. Like, it's just everything now is like, again, it's like the most beautiful woman alive. It's just like somebody that's like has like a BMI and like.
Within like healthy range.
Yeah, within like a healthy range. Just like not like this. Just like, oh my god. Like, again, it's all. Everything's desirability, everything which like all politics is just like weird relationship stuff. So like you can't really talk about relationships even anymore. You can't do any of that. Like like basically you just have to talk about like weird bullshit that you watch on TV now. Like that's like old shows that are before like in the before times. Like back before we had to like pretend that everything was like, you know, important, you know, that like that like, you know, we had to really like it's really, really fucking important that you can play as like a dwarf without a gender in a Baldur's Gate game. Which fine if you want to have that, but like don't tell
just
me
you don't
about
have to foreground it. You don't have to highlight it. Just let it be there as a part of the game.
Yeah, it's like here's the thing I will say about Assassin's Creed 1. It's the first and the last Assassin's Creed game where you play as a guy that's just a complete piece of shit.
The first Assassin's Creed game?
Yeah, Altair's a piece of shit, dude. He sucks.
Oh, Altair. Okay, I thought you were talking about
he sucks, dude. He's such an asshole. Like but it's like, yeah, that's the last time we had like a good, fun asshole character. Like an actual piece of shit character. Like he's like mean, self-absorbed, like proud, like overly prideful. Doesn't give a shit about other people. Like it's like, wow, like damn, he sucks. And over time, like he becomes a better person in the game, which is good. It's the only game where there's a real character arc. Whereas like, I mean, I guess Ezio kind of had a character arc. He actually had like towards the end, it got kind of good. But then like Connor, like what's Connor's character arc? It's that he's like Iroquois, and the white man burned his village, and so now he's mad about something. Again, it's like his identity becomes his character. It's not like describe Connor as a character without describing his background, like his like ethnicity or like his life experience.
Yeah,
you can't do it. He's just taciturn, friendly, like again, all his life experience is just like my village was burned down. Like who cares? Like tell me about him as a character, right? But no, and the problem there is that it becomes, dude, we got to do a retrospective on this. But like, one thing I will say, I'm trying to like weirdly twist like right-wing critique of media, because I do think that they have something correct. They're onto something, but they go in the wrong direction, right? They go wait. And my thing is like, the problem is that the character, the identity becomes the entire character, and the identity can only be very surface level stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like think about it like this, right? It's like the latest Assassin's Creed Origin, right? You can either play as a guy or as a woman. And the whole thing is like, her character is that she's a woman, she's sassy, and everybody's mean to her because she's a woman. And it's like, that's everybody. That's like the most surface level character. Like it's especially interesting since I've been listening to Game of Thrones. I don't know if you've heard like a Song of Ice and Fire series. I got all of them on tape, so I've been like listening to them as I've been doing like work and housework and stuff. And here's the thing that I find interesting is it's like you get characters like Cersei, who I love in the books, because she's like doing this whole girl boss routine, right? But
it's failing spectacularly.
But she's terrible at it.
Yeah.
Like she's fucking everybody over. Like she's completely insane.
She gets a guy tortured for no fucking reason.
Catelyn Stark is the exact same way. She's like, I need to be Rob's mother, but she's just like obsessed with like she's just obsessed with like what's it called? She's like so obsessed with like Jon Snow and like Ned Stark cheating on her, that she like it's driven her completely insane. Like when her dad is dying and he's like remembering how he forced her sister to get like an abortion because she was knocked up by Peter Baelish. Lysa Tully.
Yeah, Lysa Arryn. Yeah.
Yeah, Lysa Arryn and Lysa Tully.
Yeah.
Like he's like remembering it and he's like, oh, like he kept saying like Tansy, which is their
Tansy. Yeah.
Which is their version of like an aborticant. And
abortifacient, yeah.
Abortifacient, whatever. Sorry. Yeah.
No. I was thinking like.
No, you're right. You're right. I knew that I said that wrong. I'm like, ugh.
That's all good.
I'll just pretend that I did. But regardless, abortifacient, their version of an abortifacient, but she's so obsessed with it. She's like, I bet he fucked some bitch named Tansy. And it's like she's obsessed with it, and you're like, holy fuck, like this. Like she's become so caught up in her own bullshit that she's like forgotten.
Yeah, she thinks that her dad is like with his dying words talking about like, some bitch that he liked. Some like side piece from like X amount of time ago. And meanwhile, it's like, no, I actually had to cover up your sister getting knocked up by that dude you're hanging out with in King's Landing.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's not. It's like she's become so obsessed with something that she started to lose track of things, which is interesting. It makes her an interesting character, right? Like it makes her cool and different. Whereas, like and the thing that's funny is when that was translated into the show, like what did she like? Catelyn's character is like very bland, right? Like I don't know if you remember like Catelyn's character in the show, but she's just like
she's just a very strong and devoted mother. Yeah.
The only time that the book version of Catelyn Tully comes through, or Catelyn Stark, is in the beginning when Jon is like leaving for the wall, and she's like, "I wish you were dead," and you're like, "Dude, he's like 15. Like, calm the fuck down."
Yeah.
Like, but that's the thing. Like, there are no characters that are. Like when they get translated into the show, instead of being like these interesting, deep, weirdly neurotic characters, which everybody in Game of Thrones is, they just get turned into like their surface level thing, right? It's like Lysa or Catelyn Stark is a woman, and nobody pays attention to her, including her son, even though she's got good ideas. And it's like that's every female character. Like you got to do better than that. Mm-hmm. It's boring now. Like that's a well-trodden path. You need something new. Like maybe, and I will say there was a subversion there with George R.R. Martin, which that here's this cool badass female character who's awful at everything and screws everything up. But yeah, you don't get that. And the only Assassin's Creed game where you had that was Altair. That was it. Now every Assassin's Creed character is either a very boring version of Altair where they're just like very dour and self-serious, or they're just Ezio, who's just like a rogue with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
It just,
and by the way, the Italian accents in Assassin's Creed 2, though.
That was fun. It was fun. It was a fun
Magnifico.
Yeah, like it's just like, who cares? Like it's just a fun little game that you get to play, and everybody's having like. And yeah, like Ezio is a very roguish character, and it's fine. He's well written, I will say. By game 3, he actually goes through like an actual character arc, which I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But then like every character after that is now just like a version. It's either like self-serious or just like a rogue. That's it. There's the two characters in Assassin's Creed. How about an insane person? How about like a neurotic piece of shit? How about like a deep, like, has there ever been an assassin that's just like sucks? Not like, oh, like I'm a bad guy because we need to subvert expectations. You thought assassins were only good guys, but actually some of them are bad guys.
Mm.
Like, no, just like a guy that's like just a kind of a piece
just
of
an
shit.
asshole.
Yeah, just
there is, but it's in Dungeons and Dragons lore.
No. I mean, in the Assassin's Creed game.
Oh,
like,
no,
not
no.
like
No.
not like an.
There's only one character I can think of that fits that description. His name is Artemis Entreri from the Robert Salvatore books. Yeah,
it would be great. It would be
it.
great if there's like an Assassin's Creed game, but like John Wilkes Booth is an assassin, and Abe Lincoln's a Templar. That would be good, dude. We're gonna invent wokeness.
Yeah. That
would be the most entertaining Assassin's Creed game they've come out with, where it's just like full anti-woke. It's just like Abe Lincoln. He's gonna do wokeness by getting rid of. He's gonna get rid of not just Confederate statues, but the Confederates. That's even worse than the statues, to be honest with you. Think about it, right? He's like, I need to destroy Southern heritage. And it's just like the stupidest game of all time, but it doesn't take itself seriously. But again, like, I mean, it's Assassin's Creed. So it's modern Assassin's Creed, which means it has to take itself seriously in such a way that has enough political ambit that it's not funny anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like back in the Assassin's Creed 1 days when it could just be like annoying, like our atheism stuff. But now it's like, it has to be serious. But yeah, no, we're just gonna do that. That's what we're gonna do now.
Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, we were 2.5 hours in.
Yeah.
Pretty late. I think it's.
I'm pretty tired.
Call it a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Hey, let's come back. Let's come back next time, feeling a little bit more, I don't know, in upper spirits.
Yeah, I've deleted Twitter from my phone, so
I just need a good night's sleep. I slept
I do too,
abysmally last night.
All right,
yeah, we need to,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's good, dude. We'll make it better.
All right.
All right.
See you next time.